Welcome back to another episode of Black Nerd Fridays. I'm your host, Ren, aka BlackBeerdedNerd. I got my co-host with me, KinkySudz, aka the Queen of Cosplay on a Budget.
On a budget.
It's Black History Month, and y'all already know we love beer. So why not do something and pay a tribute to our brothers and sisters that are in the industry that are making moves? So we got some special guests on tonight, man. We got some special guests here. We got one on already with us. My man Sizzle out of Ohio, forgot the exact name of the brewery. Go ahead, give a shout out, bro.
Yo, I'm coming at y'all, Crafted Culture Brewing Company right here in Central Ohio on our Black History move. We are the dream, baby. Like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm just glad to be on here with my people, yo. I don't get to hang out with Blerds too often, so, you know, I'm here
That's
for
what's
it.
up, man. I appreciate that. I got my brother right here, Mac, from out of Philly. What's going on?
What's going on? I don't know what just happened.
All love. You already know it's all love. What y'all drinking on? I already know what you're drinking on because you know you got an accidental batch over there. What you drinking on?
So if I'm drinking, it's probably some black shit. So on my left, I got the Every Ghetto, Every City Stout from right here at Crafted Culture.
Ooh,
right?
I like the name of that.
Yeah, you know, that's where it's a table stout. So it should be able to go anywhere you go. It's supposed to travel well. The temperature's not supposed to really impact it. So every ghetto, every city, and suburban place I've been, you know. And then on my right over here, I got my little 2 fingers of Bamboo XO. You know what I'm saying?
2 fingers.
Shout out
Smart
to
man.
Wayne. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Got that way. Forgive me if y'all get pops of music in the background. Our Ladies Love R&B party is going on in the front of the brewery right now. So I'm at work. So, yeah, these DJs cutting up over here, yo.
He got it cracked.
Yeah, that's what's up. Now, you already know what it is. Listen, Suz, what you drinking on?
So, you know, my beer fridge is empty. It's a bad thing, right? I know. It's terrible. I know. Don't judge me, you two. Don't do that. But I am at least representing a little bit with my culture glass. Okay. I had to go and get get that on there, but I am drinking a little bit of wine. So it may not be as delicious as a nice stout, you know, or as, you know, refreshing as a you know, a nice little glass of cognac or whiskey, but it's going to do its job. It's going to do its job. And Drew has finally joined.
My man Drew from Lip Coil's on.
Look, he's official, yo, at all times.
Facts.
At all times, that man is official.
Hold on, y'all. I got to go grab something. I can't be drinking an IPA. I got to keep it 100.
Hold up. He went and
why can't you, yo? Like, that's 100. Look, especially if Mac.
I feel like.
Oh, go ahead.
I feel like I need to go put this 2014 Black Ops in the fridge to enjoy that with you guys. Since Sis wants to be, you know, on the stouts.
Nah, listen, yo.
Yo,
there he is, yo.
Let me say this. This is my brother from Buffalo right here. My man Mac. Look, we got 2 Macs on right now. That's my brother Mac right here from Buffalo. He's a brewer at Big Ditch Brewing right here in the city. So I had to bring my brother on because we don't have them here. We don't have him here. This the first and the only right now.
Yeah.
First and the only. Mac, this is my brother Drew right here over here in the middle. My brother Philly Mac over there. My brother Sizzle at the top, I guess your right, left. And then my sis right there, Suds.
Nice to meet y'all. I met Mac and I met my boy right there from right next to me.
Drew?
Fresh Fest, not Fresh Fest, at Barrel Flow last year. I met y'all.
Stopped
at the merch table and I got a Mac shirt. I had to because of the name relevance. And then my boy,
he bought the last jackets he had, yo. Look.
Yeah. And then my boy hit me with the lemongrass size on.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what's up. Drew froze up over there. I don't know what's going on.
They remodeling. We remodeling the brewery right now. Everything getting upgraded. I'm gonna grab a beer real quick and then hit the break room.
I'm gonna put this in the fridge.
Our tap room has been closed for renovation.
Word, that's what's up.
Let's see if I can show y'all real quick.
Oh, okay. Hold on. We gotta. Ooh, black chocolate stout. Okay. Oh, hold on. Hold on, we got to get him to be.
We're seeing some renovations over there. Okay.
Yeah, they renovating big time because that everything right there is chairs normally. You normally see all chairs right there. Yeah,
Show that up on the big
there you
screen.
go.
There we go.
Woo!
That's downtown Buffalo y'all looking at right there.
Grab a beer and get up out of here.
I can't even take y'all out in our joint right now. They
Right, it's too live right now.
it's way too live out there, yo.
Oh, I think Drew's back. It's Drew back? I think he is.
There he is.
Yeah, sorry.
Y'all
Technical
drinking.
My bad.
Yeah, because you like froze for a while. I was like, oh wait, I think he gone.
Bust that Black Ops out. There you go.
I promised myself that I was not going to have a repeat. So
just don't drink the rum.
Yeah,
The rum is
exactly.
gone.
There you go.
Don't drink the rum.
But I got water.
He got water this time. Oh Lord.
Hey, guess what? It's not January anymore.
Yeah, I see you over there
Not
having a
dry.
beer.
Like that. Yeah, that's probably as bright as they get.
Working, you can't see. I mean, you
yeah,
can't see, but you have to see the detail now.
Yeah.
This man said he was going to put that beer in the fridge to chill it, and then he just said, "Fuck it."
I mean,
No,
it
you
is
got
a
to serve that
stout.
at
I
room
feel
temperature.
like I
You
should
can
be
get all
able
them
to
flavors
drink
out
it.
of that.
Yeah, definitely. This was sitting here for like 15 minutes before I even took a sip.
That's what's up. And same thing here. This is coming straight off my basement floor. So
Basement
Well, this was
no
at the
time.
bottom of the shelf.
And from the floor.
I really didn't want to open this one. I wanted to wait because I have a 2020 Black Ops, but that's at my sister's crib. But
Is this what we doing? Are we going to drink rare shit tonight? Is that what we're doing? Let me know.
See, that's not
No, we're not
reference.
doing that.
No,
He's
because we
max
know what you
stunting
can
us
pull
right
out.
now.
I know. Why you
I
I
can-
just told you my beer fridge was empty and you sitting up here pulling. I'm mad. Don't do that to me. Don't.
I can go rectify my situation. I can change life right now, yo. Yo,
I mean, if
that
you
is the
wanna go
most.
do that-
This man is the most.
You know
Yo.
what? If you're gonna do that, I might as well go pull out my beer then.
Yo, hold on. Before y'all go forward, Sizzle, I wanna say something. I seen your video yesterday on your the bio joint you had on your page.
A word.
Dope.
Yo,
I'm talking about that whole joint, just the message you had behind it, everything. I was like, wow.
Well,
That hit different.
Why don't you share for the class? You know, because people who are watching, it's like, what was the message?
that's so if you go to our website, www.craftedculturebrew.com, there's a video on the front there. And it's funny because my man Justin did that. Shout out to Spare Time Recording. Like, they came through just gratis. They just heard about us and wanted to shoot a video, kind of find out what this first Black brewery in Central Ohio was about. And I don't do like media shit very well sober, right? So I tied on a few to do the video, right? Because they were shooting for like a whole day. So while we're shooting the video, like, it was like, this is more, it's bigger than beer, was the whole thing we wanted to get people to understand in our first year, right? Yeah, we're Black people, we make beer, but this is bigger than that, right? This is a pathway to entry into a career field that a lot of our kids don't know exists. This is, a sustainable means of providing for your family that if you grew up Black, you were probably steered away from this. You know what I'm saying? Because in our past, like when you think about beer, I think about the veteran with the oily field jacket and the 40 on the corner, right? But when I got into this industry, I didn't see that. So it's like, how do we rebrand beer to our people so that this industry becomes approachable? And that's kind of what we got into. Like, my kids love this shit. Like, so we talked a lot about that. And it was just an honest, emotional moment that I spent with the cameraman.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what's up, man. I loved it. Like I said, that message was pure. It straight up, it hit here. It resonated. I got my other brother on here. Look, Sean.
We about to have a full on like Brady type of thing, but better, with more culture. You get what I'm saying?
Wow, I end up in a different corner of the video every time I come in. I'm like,
I know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep people in the same spot, but
nah, don't.
It's
exciting. Let it move. Let it move, yo.
So
should
listen.
I be in the middle because I'm the only girl, though? I mean, maybe.
No, you good. You good right where you at. You good right where you at. So listen, does that everybody y'all want to give an introduction pretty much how y'all got into craft beer, what's been your experience, etc. And I'm gonna start with the hometown, my brother Mac. What's the story, bro?
What's going on? So yeah, I started basically when I first got into like craft beer.
Thanks, Suds.
It was
No
just
worries.
like being out at different places and seeing like, oh, okay, like it's different styles of beer. You know, my dad was like just Miller High Life. That's it. At the barbecue, Miller High Life. The first beer I had was Miller High Life, and then it started with Blue Moon, and then like Shock Top and stuff. So then I started getting into like all of these other different beers. I started going to festivals, and going to like the festivals and seeing like it was different stuff. I started doing like brewery tours and doing all of that. So a friend of mine that's a brewer here, he brews at Thin Man.
Shout out Thin Man.
It's another brewery in Buffalo, New York. He needed some help with his Jeep. We were in like the same Jeep Wrangler club. So I went and helped him with a tire. And I was like, I know you brew, and you're a brewer he was at Sato Brew Pub. It's a ramen spot that we have that happens to have a brewery inside of it. So he let me borrow his equipment. He hooked me up. We had a couple drinks that night. He put me on to some things. My friend Thomas, a close friend of mine, that's like a brother. He linked me with Day in Pittsburgh for Fresh Fest the first year. I went, and then I just saw like that it wasn't like a lot of Black people involved in this, but they were like trying to get into the industry and stuff. So that like really drove me to like go harder. Yeah, go ahead. The next year I was able to collaborate with Hop Farm Brewing Company in Pittsburgh, and we did a beer. And then I just started just home brewing and doing stuff. I was able to do a pilot at work at Big Ditch, and then that got pushed up and put into production. That was in stores, and yeah, I didn't think I would be working at a brewery as soon as I did. That was just like, I guess like speaking things into existence. But I ended up working at a brewery. I started, it'll be 2 years in July. Started out in packaging, and now I'm an assistant brewer. So it really was just chasing it, like just asking questions, meeting people, talking to people, getting out there, all of that. Just, staying on top of it, but really wanting to like create that voice in Buffalo, because where you are all from, it's like a lot of Black voices and it's a lot of Black people, and you guys are doing it. But in Buffalo, I'm the only one doing it in Buffalo. I'm the only Black brewer in Buffalo. I'm like really like the only Black person that works at a brewery on the brewing side. Like it's servers,
big facts,
and bartenders. But as far as like brewing and having a beer in production, I'm the only Black person that works on the brewery production side and brewing side in Buffalo. So that really motivated me to like keep going and, link with all of you, link with Ren. Me and him talked. I brought him in. He came in one Saturday, and I had him hostage in here. I was showing him everything.
You had me hostage. That was all love.
Right. Got a couple margins in him, and yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's my story.
I love it. Okay.
That's what's up. We're gonna go with Drew next.
You gonna go with Drew?
Yeah.
Getting a beer.
We got that nice background going on. We definitely got to get Drew.
There we go. He's like, hold on, let me finish
drapes, man.
Look at it.
I just poured the African Queen in her 7s. But with that, so we're Liquid Intrusion Brewing Company. We're down here in Brandywine, Maryland. We're about 30 minutes south of DC. Black-owned, husband and wife operation. My wife couldn't be one tonight, but if there's a will, there's a way. Somebody's going to represent, right? My background was distribution beer sales. So I used to work for a major beer distributor down here that pretty much ran DC and owned about 70% of the market. So you think of anything from the big name brands all the way down to the local crafts, and then even pushing, the malt liquors and all that jazz, right? And I was the unicorn because prior to that, I used to, bartend in college and all that stuff. And when they brought me on, they wanted me to work in hood and the off-premise accounts. And I was like, no, that's not my forte. That's not what I do. I am your on-premise guy. I can make that happen, right? Hey, I see that plum base down there. But with that, it was very hard for me to get on the on-premise. And when I got on the on-premise, I actually just tried to sink in and go with it and just not try to be like, oh, I'm the only Black person that's doing it. I have a job to do and I got to go execute it and hit my goals. And it was really hard because there are situations when you're in there, you hear things that's not, really nice to hear when it comes to the aspect of dealing with the corner stores and of in the hood and all that stuff. And like these reps would just make fun of it. And you had to hold them to a standard and be like, hey, back the fuck up. Like that's not real, right? And then ended up leaving that distributor, ended up signing with the Evil Empire, reading between the lines. And they really took the fun out of beer sales, right? Because beer sales is legit fun, it's selling beer, one beer, and going back and forth. But when it's numbers driven and it's about the bottom line and the dollars and cents, and can you produce more sales year over year, it sucks the fun out of it. And I just backed out of it. I went back into bartending, running beer bars, got on with World of Beer, and then from there got into a beer bar. And I've always had a love and a passion for beer. And COVID happened. Like I know how to drink beer, I know how to sell it, right? I've been Cicerone since like 2014 and all that stuff. And it came around to the point where I ended up losing my job because I was in the service industry, and my wife was home and she said, "Oh, you're annoying the fuck out of me. You need to find a hobby. Leave me the hell alone," right? And I did. I ended up picking up homebrewing, and I was blessed. It was almost like a divine intervention thing because there was this lady, her husband had passed due to cancer, and he had a 5-gallon setup, Keyser, Perlick taps, the creme de la creme when it comes to a homebrew setup. And I told her who I was, what I wanted to do. Didn't have a name of a brewery, didn't have anything. Just had $1 and a dream. And he was like, you know what? You remind me so much of my husband with the drive of wanting to be Black and brewing beer. The majority of the stuff is spoken for, but take it all and take it all for free. Just, press on and make it happen. And, during the pandemic, I'm home, I'm learning, I'm making mistakes, I'm going with it from there. It got to the point where my wife really started getting involved because while I was, in the distributorship, she was my girlfriend at the time, but she reaped the benefit of everything I was doing beer sales wise. So she really hopped on it. And, I wrote the recipe for the African Queen in her 7 C's, but every time I brewed it, it never came out right. And then she was like, get the hell out the way. Let me brew this. Let me put my stamp on it and go from there. And it's been working ever since. And for us, liquid intrusion, 2 meanings, right? One, it's about how porous water is through malts to create wort and turn to create beer. 2, we want to intrude on a market that is underrepresented of African Americans, people of color, and women, right? And from there, it's all about the liquid. I don't know who you are, where you're from, your background, your credit score, all that jazz. It's all about the liquid. And if we stay true to that mindset, y'all know what I'm about to say. Liquid always prevails.
Always prevail. Yes. I love that.
That's what's up.
Talk
That's
your
what's
shit.
up. Mac, you up, baby.
That's up.
So I know you got that. I ain't got that.
No, you terrible with this, man.
I know. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I apologize. I don't know what's going on. I keep getting kicked out. But
no, she's talking crap to me.
Yeah.
Dave Mack, Mack Brewing Co. here in the beautiful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. How'd I get involved in brewing? I was the craft beer drinker of my crew in college. I technically started drinking craft beer at around like 16, 17, going to like micro brew shops. And so, that's where I started. So that my pilot began at a spot called Notting Head. And one of my favorite beers are not on sale anywhere ever again. It's called Monkey Knife Fight. And that was like the greatest beer I've ever had in my life. At least one of them.
Did they stop making it, or they just not around?
No, they went out of business. They
wow.
and when I say they went out of business, it wasn't like they wasn't making bread. I think it
just wasn't popular at the time.
It was popping. It's just it was downtown. From what I understood, it used to be a Sam Adams. like little spot, and then they brought it, and then they started doing it, and then downtown Philly is just, you know, it's always like just big money. So I guess the landlord just said, I'm about to do something else with it, and they were supposed to be finding something else. I don't know of them finding anything, but fast forward to my college life. I met this young lady. It was probably my junior year, and she had just graduated law school.
Hold on, you gotta let them know you went to college at too. Come on now.
Well, me and Drew went to college together.
Where we go?
Smith. It's Black History Month. Went to a good
There we go.
HBCU down there in Charlotte.
Thank you.
The Johnson C. Smith.
The Johnson C. Smith University. Johnson Crane Smith University, to be exact. And this young lady was brewing in her apartment. And I at that time I was interested in brewing, but I wasn't aware of what I needed, because you're thinking about like big spots and you're thinking about big fermenters and things of that nature. So you're not even especially in the Black community, you're not even under the impression that I can start home brewing and then transfer that to something else, because we have no idea of this industry, or quote unquote the certificate you can get from probably your local community college, but the certificates that you can get to be a brewer. And what a lot of people don't realize is most people, not all, not knocking anybody else, but most people in the brewing industry don't have a brewer's certificate, or they don't have brewery science on a bachelor's degree. I went to college for music business and technology. My first job out of college was with CBS Radio. So I just liked beer. So when I started brewing it, my goal was to create a beer, because again, Fresh Fest wasn't around yet. I didn't know that many Black people that indulged in craft beer. I knew Black people that drank beer, but not like good craft beer. So my whole thing was, I thought I was on this, like I was going to spearhead this whole movement of getting Black people into craft beer, because I don't see them, because I can only see as far as my eyes can go. So I wanted all my friends to get involved. So that's when I got into home brewing, and I went a very non-traditional route of getting it out there. I didn't join any like homebrew clubs or join any contests or anything like that. I literally had a bunch of friends that were complete, unadulterated, because it's Black History Month, I'm not gonna say the first word that comes to my mind, but unadulterated good dudes. And they
was down for the cause.
They were down for the cause, but they didn't drink with me. So when I made mine, you know, they smoked their weed, they drank their Hennessy, and they drank their Bud Light.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. So I made this beer, they liked it, and I've been running ever since. You know, I like to call myself unconditional. I mean, excuse me. I don't even know, I'm drinking too much, so I'm gonna cut it off.
Unconventional.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean. I knew you was gonna catch. If I mess up in any words, I know Sean is gonna fix it. Unconventional.
Shout out to Sean.
Unconventional. I see. Okay, that's what you're trying to go for. Okay.
Max. Look, he got the little taster. All right,
so you know what he need to do? He need to get that water going, because he already screwing up.
I've been drinking the water. I've been
Clearly, it's not helping. Clearly, it ain't helping.
I've been going 1, 2, 3.
It's water and beer.
Mac, don't even try that, bro. Don't even do that.
Like, listen, I'm ahead of the party.
Yeah, don't even do that. All right, so we gotta get my man Sean up next. Sean, let's get your story. So I need help. You know,
man, listen, I ain't saying nothing until
there we go.
Then tell me where to get that hat and that sweatshirt, brother. I need to know. I need to know, because that joint is
I think
fire,
you can only
bro.
you can only get it if you got a beard, I think, honestly.
Look, I got a little beard. I don't got the big buffalo beard or the Philly beard, but I got a beard.
Listen, my wife got this made for me, but the sweater was courtesy of her. That was all her.
What you mean her?
That was she made it. She made it.
Your wife made it?
Yes.
Yes.
Man,
Yeah.
Mrs. BlackBeerdedNerd needs to start selling them things because that
She
joint
does
is
sell. She
fire.
actually does
Listen,
that.
she
does
do.
that.
We
does
gonna talk. We gonna
glassware.
talk off camera. We gonna talk behind the
I
scenes.
know she got the glassware. I'm not talking about. I want that sweatshirt.
She does that. That's what I'm telling you. We're
Well,
gonna talk.
You gotta
know,
grow
behind
a
the
beard
scenes.
and you can get it.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Dr. Denise, you can't be talking about the beard game, man.
I mean, I can put in with my hair. You get what I'm saying? I just add a little bit. Join in with Mac and Ren, okay?
No, hey, look, you said Mac and Ren, right? The Buffalo and the Philly beard game is like they're elite. They're very elite.
Not me.
Stop
I'm born and raised here.
He said, "Listen,
I got the Beanie Siegel."
Right.
Hey,
Hey, straight up, the truth, man. But yeah, what are we doing? Intros. I'm Sean Taylor. Yeah, I've been paying attention, but I don't really like, I ooh and all that. I don't like talking about myself. It's weird, like for me.
Get used to it. Elevate yourself. Tell your story.
Nah, we had this conversation, Sean. Talk your shit.
Talk your
Hey,
tell
bro.
your story. People
Don't
need to
be
know.
too humble. Let it fly.
True.
Gassing us up the other night.
No.
Talk your shit.
Sean really the
Hey,
man
look,
on the
hey,
road.
look.
Like this
but-
shit,
You already know, bro.
It's our month.
You already know.
Ohio, I was really inebriated, so I don't remember nothing. I just remember it was an 8-hour live.
You're using big
You
words.
saying the same
Inebriated.
thing.
You
I
can
want no
rewind.
excuses. No excuses. No.
Run it back like an athlete. Pull out your highlights, son.
Hey,
Talk
there
your
we go.
shit.
Okay.
Get that
I'm
highlight
Sean.
reel.
Hey, straight
Go
up,
ahead,
man.
Cat. Come on.
I'm Sean Taylor. I am the co-founder, co-owner, and chief visionary officer for Black Viking Brewing, Montgomery County, Maryland, which is Montgomery County is Maryland's most populous county, over 1 million people. Montgomery County, Maryland's first and only Black-owned beer company. We launched back in October. Drew pulled up. My man Mac pulled up. On that night when we launched, we sold 43 cases of beer. We kicked a half a keg in about 50 minutes. Since then we're in 23 different accounts.
Nice.
We're picking up accounts almost on a daily basis for real. And things are just moving, man. On our cans. Well, our flagship beer is our Zynga beer, which is a ginger golden ginger golden ale, 5.5%. Very smooth, very drinkable, very versatile. And on our cans it says "Cheers to the culture." We all know what the culture is. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a word that folks throw out there. It's a living, breathing, tangible thing that we're all a part of. So when you hear people talk about the cookout, when you hear about people talking about, certain things in the potato salad, that's the culture. You know what I'm saying? We know what time it is, and so that's what we on, man. We are one of the 75 or 80 Black-owned beer companies in the country, one of like 6 or 7 throughout the DMV. Shout out to my brother Drew. They doing big things at Libco. He's an authentic dude, show mad love from the beginning, pull up and all that. We do Black Viking TV every Thursday at 7:00 on IG Live.
Yes.
A couple of y'all have been on it. Most of y'all have actually been on except for my man in the middle. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name, partner, but everybody else has been
Who
on.
in the middle? Me? I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
You're in the
Mac.
middle.
You're in
I'm
the middle, Buffalo Mac.
Yeah.
Okay,
Buffalo
so
Mac.
we got Buffalo Mac and we got Philly Mac.
Philly
So we
Mac.
got
Yeah.
Correct.
Philly Mac and Griselda Mac, right?
Yeah.
And straight up,
I knew that was
Yeah.
you knew that was coming. Ren
I
knew that
knew
was
it,
coming
yeah.
for sure. And so,
But
yeah,
no, not to not cutting you short. Ren, you gotta link me everybody except for I got my boy Liquid and I got Philly Mac, but link me everybody else.
Got you.
Social media
Say
so I
less.
can keep up with them. Yeah.
Say less.
Of course, and I want to follow you as well, brother. So, like I said, one of like 6 or 7 Black-owned brewery / beer companies in the DMV. We putting some things together, man. We've been blessed, very fortunate to be in some great rooms. That's given us access to some different things, and I'm just a fan. I'm a fan of everybody that I know on here. I'm like truly a fan of the work that y'all are doing, the products that y'all are putting out, the grind that y'all are on. And I told somebody earlier during the meeting, I'm like, I really feel like we are the foremothers and the forefathers of a beer revolution. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, for real, we really paving the way. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's getting licenses or getting into different spots and sharing that information. I'm just excited, man. I'm excited to be a part of this. And we're going to keep this thing moving. Like, we not going to stop. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're not going, no matter what obstacles are in front of us, we're not going to stop. And then just to kind of wrap it up, shout out to my brother Rim, because me and my business partner had called him a couple weeks ago. We needed help with some, you know, we need a third party mediator. You know what I'm saying? And he's so cool about it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, he gonna keep saying that. He gonna keep saying that, right?
Because that's him.
Because that's him. He a humble dude, right? He a humble dude, but he's strong. You know what I'm saying? So he gave some great feedback, some great input, and helped us to move forward with what we're doing. You know, and just on a side note, 75 of them cases, Ren, are pre-sold already, 75%. You know, I mean, I'm just saying. So, and that's where light work. You know what I'm saying? So I like, is that type of energy and that type of just collaborative spirit that is really pushing this thing forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, we doing something very special right now. And I said I was gonna wrap up, but last thing, this summer I'm gonna be traveling. I'm gonna be traveling a lot. We working on a special project, so I'm gonna be seeing a lot of y'all. You don't even know it yet. Listen, I'm gonna be seeing a lot of y'all. I'm gonna just say it like that. Yeah. Right. And I can't wait, because I'm inspired.
So that means you're coming to the West Coast too, then, huh?
Oh yeah, no, I'm coming throughout traveling the whole country. We working on something real special right now, right? But I can't speak to it too much. I'm gonna just
don't do that. Don't break that NDA. Don't do that.
Right. Don't do that. So I'm gonna just say, but like I said, I'm inspired by y'all. I really am. I'm inspired by everybody that's putting their blood, sweat, and tears into this movement, making great beer, influencing great beer, really just throwing themselves into the beer game. And I appreciate y'all tremendously. I'm happy to be here, and you know, cheers to the culture. Yeah, me.
That's what's up. Appreciate that. And listen, before we get back to Sizzle, because Sizzle, we ain't getting off. You got to get back into it. I'm gonna say this: y'all got a Wakanda going on in Maryland. I've been peeping y'all. Y'all got a Wakanda going on over there. I've been peeping all the moves y'all been doing. It's going down. So don't try to play that lightly. I love it. I love the movement. I love the progression. Keep doing what y'all doing.
Hey, real quick though, Ren. Yeah, the DMV collective is strong, but like, so I'm gonna just say this real quick, and you know, pardon me if I'm speaking out of turn or divulging too much, but like, we've had our challenges, right? As far as, because when you're trying to bring people together, everybody got their own idea of what they want to do. You know, they own individuals, they own companies or whatever, and I've had issues with certain people in the DMV collective. Not I don't even want to say issues. Like, we had disagreements. You know what I'm saying? We didn't agree on certain stuff, but we were able to talk about it in a respectful way and then move forward. And that made me have respect for certain folks even more. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I understand this.
You know what? That piece, and I think, because Ren and I have talked about this a lot on this show, and then also just offline, like heavily offline. And I think that's a big thing that we talk about.
Of course.
When, you know, you need someone, when you need to talk about certain types of issues, right? Because this is the thing. Like, we were in a space, like you said, where it's not that many of us, but there are. Right. On the surface, you would think there isn't, but there's a large movement of us that's in the space. Right. But when we're watching each other move through these different channels, you know, you may see something a person does that you're like, I might want to pull your coattail a little bit about. Right. But I think doing it, like you said, in a respectful way, I think adds a bit of class to it. Right. Like, you're like, listen, we may not agree, but we should be able to come to the table and talk to each other as equals to kind of hash this type of stuff out. Right. So this is something that I think. But then again, at the same time, there is that fine line of how do I call people out on stuff when I see that you are not going according to brand, according to culture, right? That is something that I think is an extra layer that we as Black people in this industry, we as Black people in the world have to always tote. I mean, I'm in the corporate space, right? So there's always an added layer to that I always have to, you know, kind of think about. But I do think that is something that we have to hold each other accountable. But like you said, we got to keep each other, we got to keep it respectful. We have to.
Absolutely. And Dr. Denise, real quick, I'm sorry to jump back in. you know that's what I'm gonna call you, right? So I guess the reason why I brought that up is to say, is to not to be spilling tea or be full of drama. Like y'all that know me know I don't even be on that type of stuff for real. But to say these challenges will come up, it's like any relationship, you know what I'm saying? And so we have to be mindful that, like, yeah, the challenges are gonna come up, but as long as we're all moving in the same direction, right? And there's that accountability, like you said, Dr. Denise, like, then we can get through this, because the worst thing will be for us to say, you know what, you going this way, I'm going this way, so we just gonna go opposite ways. But it's like, nah, we gotta stay together, you know what I'm saying? And know, like, we gotta anticipate that these challenges are going to arise. And Drew knows exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, again, we decided that we're going to continue to push this thing forward, because, again, we're really setting the foundation. We like the 49ers. We setting the foundation for generations to come. That's real talk right there. Yeah. And this beer is amazing.
I'm glad you didn't say Commanders, because, you know, why?
Hey, see? Look, all right, I'm out. All
right,
that's what we're doing.
Let me chime in behind.
Real quick, because I gotta go. Because I want to keep talking with y'all. I had to squeeze this in on break because obviously I'm still at the brewery. But I got to wrap up production for the day. But all of us have to stay in touch. That's a major key. I'm cutting it short with y'all tonight, but I know Ren will give me an opportunity to talk with y'all again another time. Yes. But we all have to stay in touch. But then help each other. I don't really want to say like weak points, but help each other with areas that we haven't explored yet. So like we're all doing different things at different levels for Black people and for the Black brewing community. And any way I can help y'all, I have no problem helping y'all. I hold a lot of weight where I'm at, and I'm in Buffalo.
That's a fact.
But I have a lot of permission to go ahead with a lot of things. I'm decorated where I'm at. I've proven, a lot of things. So like, if I need help with stuff, if I need information with stuff, like.
I love it. See, that right there says a lot.
They're trying to kick him out because he's dropping gems. Exactly. We got too much deep on right now.
You know what it is.
Before we
know what it is. They watching.
Mac, what you got to
Mac,
say?
You still here?
Go ahead, because we still got to get Sizzle give his introduction.
Yeah, hold on. Let Mac finish before he get off.
Are you good?
People like this stuff. I apologize. I was speaking out of turn. My apologies.
I will concede.
Yeah, let him finish before he get off. We on here for a minute. We ain't rushing.
Yeah, yo, I'll give Mac the mic any day, bro. Like, talk
about it. No, you got permission.
Well, hold on, Mac. Hold on. I just wanted to chime in behind John with the.
All right, never mind.
We still here? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, here we go.
I just wanted to chime in behind Sean real quick on that aspect, because, like, you see the brothers and sisters out in Chicago doing it, right?
Fact.
And we're trying to do it in the DMV as well too, and it's something that has to happen across the country. And then also, like, Dr. D, you hit me up on a text and I have not replied back to you, so I apologize about that. But there's a lot of people.
I wasn't even going to air the dirty laundry. You know what I'm saying? I was just thinking okay. So I see you could be on here, but you can't respond. But I can talk. I can't talk though.
The biggest thing is, like, even though I'm trying to, produce a dream of Libco and all that stuff, I got a full-time job, and and like, I got hit with. Oh yeah. But I'm in HVAC sales, and we just got hit with trying to provide filters for 3 counties for public schools to make sure that they're COVID free and all that jazz. And it's a big strain, and it's like this whole juggling thing that we all know that we deal with. Like, Sizzle, you are in depth with Crafted Culture Ohio, like that's the bread and butter. But like, Sean, I know you got a daytime job, and then at the nighttime there's Black Viking, and it's like, it gets tough in this thing. And maybe this is just me, because I did a dry January and I'm such a lush now because I haven't drank in like 20 days.
Go ahead, L. Varner, do your shit, yo. Get a refill.
I love it. Hey, and I want to say this too, by the way, that review coming next week. I ain't gonna say which one, but your review coming next week, Drew.
I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, anytime. So we're gonna let Sizzle get his introduction, then we about to just let it fly after that.
We got to at that point. Then that's when everything comes off at that point.
I ain't shit, Joe.
No. Start over.
I'm for real. I'm for real. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Listen. I'm 12 years old. I just get better at that shit every year. I'm still on the Huffy trying to grab a Fago, some Mambas, and a bag of Grippos while I ride down the street. So
listen, Detroit girl here.
Right. Ain't shit changed over here, right? Like, I still can't grow a beard. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we fucking working with right now. Like,
hey, I'm with you.
But I'm Sizzle. I'm the founder and CEO of Crafted Culture Brewing Company, Central Ohio's first Black-owned brewery. So we just out here, you know. I don't know, man. I just wanted to like create this life where I grew up in the hood, and then I had an opportunity to get educated in the suburbs, right? So like, I wanted to create a space where both of those worlds could come together, because I used to jokingly say like, I'm not black, you know what I'm saying? I'm gray, you know what I'm saying? I got like just enough white in me to not be as black as you, but enough black in me to not be white enough to fuck with y'all. Right.
I mean,
that's the thing that
makes a little bit more than others. I'm just saying.
That was the life I was living for a minute, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I love it.
It's what it was. But I got into this industry because I drink. You know, like that's just what it was. I quit actually working for a restaurant. I was managing their marketing in the bar at a restaurant, and I just felt like I hit the ceiling. Like they weren't, you know what I'm saying? My GM hired me at 18 years old, right? I left for 12 years, came back, and he was still there. He was a black dude. So I was like, wait a minute, you've been in that spot for that long, in the most successful store in this franchisee's catalog, and somebody got promoted over you to handle the district when he expanded. So when I became a manager there, I was like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know that man has gone through a paradigm shift strong enough to pay me what I'm worth or promote me to a position I'm worthy of. So I was like, I got to get out. I was like, but I'm gonna get into this beer life. You know, I'm gonna sell this beer. I applied at 17 different breweries right here in Central Ohio. At the time, we had 53 breweries here. I applied to 17 of them, and the ones that called me back told me I didn't have enough experience. And I was like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? This is beer, my guy. It's not hard. They already drinking it, right? But I was like, all right, cool. I don't have enough experience. My homeboy was like, yo, I'll hire you. You got to give me time, though, because my sales team I don't have enough space for you on the team right now. I was like, I can buy my time for a little bit. My man's hit me up, and he was like, look, they forced me to hire a female as a diversity hire. I was like, I'm not mad at that. Well, yep, I feel you. I know where you're going, because I was like, this ain't diverse. But she had a complexion for protection, so she got the job. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. I'm not mad at her. Not mad at it, not mad at her. You see what I'm saying? So he called me back like a week later. He was like, look, man, my delivery driver got a DUI. He said, can you deliver beer until I can put you on the team as a salesperson? I was like, yeah, watch me work. You know what I'm saying? Then that I Get Money joint came out. You know, all my life I had to grind and hustle, had to work like Kobe just to shine like Russell. I made that shit my fucking theme song when I did that job, yo. And I did that, right? I was grinding like Kobe. I was pulling up on accounts, dropping beer off, and selling extra beer in at the same time.
Damn.
So, yeah. So then I went.
Hey, talk your talk, brother.
I told you,
talk
dog.
It like right now. Talk it right now. Talk it. I'm listening, bro.
So I pulled up on a small chain grocery store we got here in Ohio called Lucky's Market, right? And Drew probably knows, like, these small chains, they don't do a lot of beer, you know what I'm saying? But they do beer, but they don't do a lot of beer.
Yeah.
I pulled up on Lucky's Market. I dropped off like 4 cases of beer, and I walked around the store. They was hella busy, so I merchandised it for them. That's hella, we're not supposed to do that, but I did it just to help them out. And when I was looking, I was like, I ran to the buyer. I was like, yo, you got mad empty profit centers here. People don't even buy beer over here because you got so many holes on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? I was like, they're going to walk over. They just looking over here. They say, there's no beer I want because they out of beer. And they walk away. And she was like, yeah, our beer sales are down. I said, well, how about this? Let me plug the holes in here. She's like, what? I was like, just let me plug the holes. You already got
value and
yeah,
value.
exactly. I was like, you got dead practice in
right?
there. Let me just blow a little air in that shit and see if it gives life. You know what I'm saying?
Real estate.
And so what happened? What happened with that?
So we
Nah,
bought
so-
$1,000 worth of cases of beer.
Nice.
Now, when you think that the cases are only like, you know what I'm saying, 30, 35, you know what I'm saying, dollars at a time, that's fucking crazy when you do that math, right?
Now here's my thing. Here's my question for you, because people always like to talk about impact, right? How much of an increase in sales did you get for them, though?
So at that point in time, here's what happened. They had never seen a sale that large go into that account. I logged the sale, right? And then I got a call, not even 10 minutes later, right? My homeboy, who is the sales manager, called. He's like, "Are you kidding me? This is not a mistake." I was like, "It's not a mistake."
It's not.
He said, "Okay, man, fuck that. Like, when you get back, you're a salesperson. I'm
You
not
won't.
fucking with shit anymore."
Okay. So
Right?
he moved you into the right space. Okay. All right. Because see, that was my big question.
Yeah.
He gave you the corner,
I'm gonna say this one thing.
Facts.
Because when
Right.
you sat there and said, hey, when he said to you, "Hey, can you fill in for this guy that got a DUI?" My biggest thing with this is this: coming from corporate and come from academics, the biggest thing I've seen is that a lot of times they will put people into these categories and not give them where they actually need to be, right? They're like, well, I'll get you here until this. They promise you this and they never transition you. You get what I'm saying? So for me, this is why I'm asking you these questions.
Oh, yeah.
You did all this. You showed that impact. Did they move you into the right space so that you can grow, so that you can continue to have an impact? And not only that, learn stuff for yourself.
I did not give space for an option. I was like, yo, when was the last time you had $1,000 sale into an account this size?
From an 8-ball to a half. That's
right. When was the last time you seen $1,000 sale with no
There you
head?
go. There you go.
So we did it. And that Friday in the sales meeting, like obviously, you know, we started some fires. That's what we did. But
Get some people off. You know, they
while everybody was arguing, I said, hey, I got an idea. I'm a football dude, yo. If you want to gain yards, run where they ain't. And ain't nobody selling beer on the east side. So just give me the east side, yo. Like, we rock with my people. They was like, yo, black people don't drink beer. I was like, I just sold more up than all the white people, though. That was literally my response. It was like, do black people really drink that much beer? I said, I just sold more of it than the white people. So let's try it.
But you know what? But see, here's the thing. You were bringing up something else that's really big. It's these assumptions that they have about us as a people. They think about the fact that we don't have the money, that we don't have the taste, right? That we don't have the interest. And like I said, in my industry with science, they think that we don't want to be there. Same thing they saying about beer. Same thing they're saying about art. Same thing they're saying about fashion. But we know that that's not the case. We are in every single space that there is. But the biggest thing is that since they don't look at us, we are underserved. They don't see us as an asset. That's the biggest thing in it. I'm sorry. I just want to call it out.
Best, yo. When you see us.
Thank you.
But they can't though.
So
they can't. That's what I'm saying. Like, so
if they can't see the vision, then they out of focus. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
they don't care to, but here's the thing. They don't care to because they haven't been held accountable to
exactly.
There you go.
We as a group, we have the capabilities, the financial capabilities, we have the intellect. All of that is there. Okay. But the thing is that we as a people have to do better to hold these other areas accountable. But even when we do, this whole idea about do you get a seat at the table or do you create your own? I say you do both.
Yes.
Okay, because you should exclude from these spaces, but at the same time, we should have our own. And that's the biggest thing is that we have to demonstrate. Right, we got to demonstrate that. We got to demonstrate our assets. We got to demonstrate the impact. Just saying.
You're right.
And get in that bag with y'all. Right.
A quick example, like in the distributor life, right? Like Top Brand, you know, they had a running joke that, you know, the off premise in the hood, they would call it the near premise because the clientele would drink the beer near the premise. And that was just a running joke that was okay here in DC. And it's like, yo, like, how dare you say something like that? You know what I mean? Like, you have these, you know, deprived souls that are actually, you know, that may have issues when it comes to alcohol and stuff like that. And you prey on that. And that's something that, you know, we as breweries, right, we have to make sure that we are making sure that our clientele are drinking responsibly. And that's a very big thing. But there's also other breweries, bigger breweries, they don't give a rat's ass about that.
No, they don't. And this is
That's
the
why
thing.
I want to put 40s in the suburbs.
But this is what I'm saying. But here's the thing. But here's the
They
thing.
wouldn't know what to do with them.
Black IPA.
They wouldn't know what to do with them.
You already know,
But
Matt. We on it.
But here's the thing about that, right? When you think about 40s, everybody thinks about a certain demographic and a certain type of thing. It is viewed in a very negative light, right? And the thing
Only
is
when
that
a
it's
black
also,
person has it.
But here,
Until you
here's
go
the
to Wiz
thing. I
Khalifa
have never
concert.
seen it marketed to another type of group. You get what I'm
Are
saying?
you kidding me?
And on
In
top of that,
college, it was Edward 40 Hands at every frat party.
Listen. But here's the thing.
Here-
We know that Edward 40 Hands happens, right? But do you ever see that in any type of media?
No.
Do you anytime they show any type of media with 40s, we
No, we
know
only
for a
see
fact what they're
cake
trying to go
stands.
for.
That's indirect. It's indirect
Yeah.
media. Like,
You
I
get
know
what
what
I'm
you're
saying?
saying.
College
Like,
kids, everybody knows college kids drink. Everybody knows this stuff, right? But the thing is that you will never see it viewed as a bad thing. Like things that are associated with us is always viewed as lower class, right? Of lower value. And that is a problem that I have with that because, and then they also think that, well, you guys only drink this, so you're not going to be willing to try this. And I'm like, I'm sorry, do you understand the type of financial impact that we have as a group? You get what I'm saying? Like if we stop buying beer, we stop buying cognac, if we stop buying Hennessy, like all these things, do you understand the type of financial impact that we could have? And people, people like to diminish that. They like to diminish our value.
They do, but at the same time, they know we're not gonna hold to that. That's the problem. Me and my wife were just having this conversation earlier about that. We talk about it all the time. We're good at saying something, but are we really about it? So, an example, what was that 2 years ago when they were supposed to be protested for Breonna Taylor's thing, and whoever LeBron James, the Lakers. After that first game, them boys got back on the court. Why? We know why. Because I got to get money. I have to pay for this person, that person. Where is the sacrifice? We've had this conversation before. What are you willing to sacrifice for the greater good of all of us? That's what it comes down to.
To go into that, to piggyback off of that, what I wanted to say, I wanted to give Sizzle his shine to introduce himself, because all of these brothers they're in the L shape and on my left hand side on my screen. I call all of these dudes. I've called Sean numerous times to have conversations that I choose not to have on live streams. I have no problem doing it. When you see me, it can be smoke if you want it, but I'm trying to be a changed man. And
well, why though? Here's my question. But why do you want to be a changed man?
Because by
fuck that code switch, bro.
He has a business and he has to run his
these
business.
Conversations in a live space that is vilifying our movement.
Thank you.
And
first off,
people within our movement that and excuse me, I apologize, Dr. D. I've had these conversations with you.
I was gonna say, I mean, and you know me, I'm coming from
I've had these conversations in a collective, and that's why I love what we are doing. Yes, it is a Harlem Renaissance, because I believe I put out a tweet.
I like that.
Yes,
I
know almost every black brewer in the industry.
Facts.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy about that though? You know what's really crazy about that? When you think about the number of black-owned breweries, and this is why you guys are so important, right? Because a lot of you, when you were dropping your titles, talked about how you're co-founders, you're CEOs of these companies, right? That when you think about in the grand scheme of things in the beer industry, there's not that many that are in that leadership position. And so when you say, Philly Mac, that you know all the black brewers, that to me says one of two things, almost, but it says one of two things. That one, that collective is smaller than what it needs to be.
Yeah, there's not enough.
But at the same time, too, that our culture is very tight-knit. Because the fact is that you can have, just because you're black doesn't mean you're going to be the same, right? And we know that. Okay, you know when
diaspora is diverse. The diaspora is diverse.
But what I'm getting at is this: just because you're black doesn't mean that you're going to be a part or for the culture. But what I'm getting at is that tells me that we need to increase the representation, because it should come to a point where you're like, I don't know all the black brewers, but I know how many are out there. You get what I'm saying?
Of course,
That's
but the
right.
thing
They shouldn't
is,
all fit in my phone book.
The
Right,
point that I
but-
was trying to make was because, you know, and I had this conversation with Drew offline. It's because, for one, I know it's a lot more black brewers out there. But
Exactly.
because whatever their system is or however they're brewing, they don't believe they have the chops to do what we're
Talk
doing.
to him, Mac.
In the grand scheme of things, it's not that difficult, and you have no idea what you can do and what you can bring to this game.
Right.
At the end of the day, like I make a joke saying 8 balls and squirrel.
Right.
I'm having a joke, but I'm really being real. Like this, I come to this game with that mentality, bro. You know what I'm saying? These smaller, low level brands that I will not name are multi-million-dollar companies, and they sell trash. You see what I'm saying? When you're
bringing up something, yo.
When you're
we in the fishbowl with a group of racial profiteers.
You see what I'm saying? And when you try to put people on the game, and then
don't do that, John. Don't do that tonight, dog.
Bro, because you be dropping them jewels, dog.
Trying to sell us motherfucking wolf tickets, telling us it's rain and they pissing on our heads. Like, bro, this shit got to stop.
But you know what?
But
you know what? We accept it. A lot of times we accept it.
But we accept it because we not in positions of power.
Wait, no.
Listen.
No. I gotta stop you on that, because here's my thing. Some of us are. Some of us are.
Who is?
I can tell you right now how we did it.
Here's the thing. I'll give you an example outside of beer. I'm currently in clinical in big pharma, right? And I'm helping to build out global clinical trials. Now, when you think about that, when you think about a clinical trial, how many of us do you think are actually represented in a clinical trial? Like on a percentage, how much?
Yeah,
probably about 10%.
Less than that. But what I'm getting at is that we're less than that, right? And here I am in a position to try and change that. But you have people who are in these positions who don't do anything about it. Why? Because they're like, hey, I'm in this space. I need to protect me.
I agree. But what I'm saying though, and not to cut you off, Dr. Denise, but what I'm saying is I have had interviews. I'm gonna keep saying that, right? I have had conversations. Our state capital is Annapolis. I've had conversations with politicians in Annapolis to say, yo, y'all keep talking about diversity. You want to increase diversity, but you're just talking. You're not actually doing anything. You're making it more difficult for me and my folks to get into the game. The barriers to entry is incredible.
Real quick.
Hold on.
I gotta ask this
You
question.
said, what do I do to follow? I'm a dog. So I'm but what I'm saying is,
I gotta get
hold on. Let me finish up real quick, my brother. Real quick. The folks said to me, oh yeah, I said, if this is the issue, then what is everybody else doing? They said, well, we just talked to Drew from Libco. Do you know him? I said, that's my people, right? You know him like that. I said, that's my people. I call him right now, right? I said, what are y'all actually doing to help him? Don't tell me about it's cool that he's trying to do X, Y. What are you doing to tangibly help him? And the response was like that right there. Crickets, right? So that's what I'm saying.
It's fact.
Facts, right, Drew?
Before my favorite part, Sizzle, did you want something to say? I saw both you and Drew wanted to add something.
Real quick.
Before I add my piece.
So
I'll pop in. I'll pop in real quick. So to two instances. So what Sean is saying is 100% factual, and that's why the DMV collective is necessary, right?
Right.
But then on
Wakanda.
the flip side,
Wakanda.
I want to put a pin in that.
Is actually starting,
I want to say something about
the state is actually starting to recognize that, hey, Black Brewers is a thing in our state, and we need to actually, put up or shut up.
Facts.
But then to negate that, like, I want to give flowers to Sizzle, who's above me. This man has his Black-owned brewery in Ohio, and dare I say, red state.
Oh, we got an extra. We got an extra.
Hey, I need that shirt, Sizzle. I need that shirt.
Y'all know what's up.
I need that shirt.
Hey,
Talk about what we
Wait, we
doing.
gotta let Drew finish. Hold on, let Drew finish.
Let me finish. But
Yo,
the thing with Sizzle, because like I pulled up on him because I took a road trip to Ohio and he was my pit stop. And I said, hey, my wife is showing up. We're going to take pictures. We're going to drink your liquid and go from there. And we did that. It was very dope because it was a total vibe in there. And he's in Central Ohio and he's brewing his liquid. And then on the same aspect, he's carrying spirits and wine that is Black owned. And he is number 10 in the state of Ohio doing that. And he's humble as fuck.
Hold up. We're gonna get some corrections. It's a couple brands he was number 10 for, but we top 10 in every Black-owned brand available in our state.
Talk your talk, brother.
Yeah.
Talk your talk.
But
hold
that's
on.
the point that I want to bring up.
Hold on.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead, Drew.
then I apologize.
Because with that, and I'm sorry, Sizzle, that I muffed it a little bit, but I'm glad.
No, you didn't. There was a couple of them. You know, things happened since you came through.
Hey, you're right. I gotta come back. But with that,
we get better by the beer around here.
It's better education for his clientele when someone comes in there and says, hey, I want, the more typical known cognac of Hennessy. It's like, yo, we don't sell that here because that's not Black owned. We selling Black owned shit here. And like he told customers that, like the customer next beside me wanted like a Hennessy and Coke. Like, yeah, we don't sell Hennessy, but I got this conjure up here that's owned by a Black man, Ludacris, Bridges and all that stuff. And it was like, I was like, yo, I'm like, this dude's about to go far, very far, and very fast.
Yo,
because that's the only time I've seen that across the country, right? You don't even see that here in DC.
I'm gonna tell you about that.
Before you do that, that's why so many brands, at least for myself, I refuse to bring clientele to people that don't fuck with us. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to
that's regardless of race, right? Just saying. Just so that's regardless of race, right? Because you have some, some
of us that don't fuck with us. All skin.
That's what I'm trying to. Thank you, Ren, for saying
that. That's right.
Again. I talks my shit. You know what I'm saying? If you feel inclined that I have said or spoke of you in an indirectly way, please approach me when you see me. Because now
he wants to smoke in the streets anyway.
And you feel like I'm talking about you, I honestly, truly don't fuck with you.
It's all about the liquid. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be odd to be number one. That's just facts. So crafted culture will never look like any other brewery. This is Malik, one of my lead bartenders. He's my assistant.
What's up, Malik?
That's my guy.
Yes, look, we do it up here, right? Where you seen that brewer with blue braids?
I mean, but listen,
you ain't never seen one, right?
I ain't never seen
one. Before you get into
today.
Before you get into it, where do you get the shirts from, though?
Yo, so we do it all in house over here, right? Like, if y'all need shirts, though, like, get with me. We'll make sure y'all get shirts. You know what I'm saying?
Please do.
That's actually, that's last year's design. We got new stuff on the regular. Like y'all saw the We Are the Dream hoodie.
It don't matter.
Then we got the We Are Black History joints popping off because
I need that for this month.
February, we are the first Black-owned brewery in Central Ohio, and we did our first soft open February 1st. Grand opening was February 27th. So we partying all month long. This is different for us. These the conditions we was talking about right here, yo.
Oh my God, I wish I was someone else again.
Hey, Sizzle. Remember when I went up when I was there and I asked you, I was like, what are the top 3 things that you're proud of? Can you name that real quick? Because that was dope. Like that stuck to my heart.
Yo, like
my man,
you know what? That's funny that you asked that question.
It's because that changes for me on a regular basis, right?
Okay, so what is it currently then?
If we talk today, right? Pride point number 1 is when my P&L came out in January. Okay. Yeah, like talking.
Now wait. Now listen. You're going to have to explain
profit and loss statement that you have to have as a business, understanding what you did. Not only were our profits good, but our gross revenue was. Yeah, we opened up during COVID. Okay.
Yes.
We had We did like 14 days in the month of February that we were actually open, not even the full month. No days in January. Okay. When my end of year gross revenue dropped, I was within arm's reach of $500,000, and I don't sell food. Right? That's all liquid, yo. So, but here's the best part. You know, we say beer the change over here, yo. Right?
Hey, I need that. I need that. Hey, real talk. Can you get that? Can you get that to me next week? Can you get that to me next week?
Seriously, can I get that?
Can you get that? No,
I
seriously.
think we all need that.
Don't put that
Can you
jacket
get that
on,
to me
man.
next week?
Yeah, come on, man.
Wait, hold on.
That's Silk
I
Sonic.
think we all need
Silk
that.
Sonic out
Let
there.
me just pause this real quick. Hold on. Let me just say one thing.
Because of
First
you,
off,
I got
Sizzle,
this. Because of you.
Hold on, Sizzle. You need to get us a hat. Everybody that's on here, get us a hat.
Listen.
And Mac, seriously, with this hat or with this jacket.
It's
That
a whole
jacket
nother one.
is fire,
coming
yo.
out.
Hey, hold on.
Hold on. That jacket. Is that
Look at Drew about the
Hey,
sun on
Limpo
it.
got that. Limpo got that fresh
Hold on.
beer.
Right now.
Hold on. I need to know, Mac. Mac, let it be known to everyone who's going to watch this later. How did they get that jacket?
Hey,
First off,
he
Hold
said,
on.
Hey,
it's
Come on, Drew.
Hold on,
Got
Drew.
a tongue on it, Drew.
Hold on. I'm gonna give you a
hey,
Mac.
hoodie yellow.
Hold on. Mac, how did they get that jacket? Explain to them how they can get that jacket.
I'm gonna keep it a bean, man. That jacket, I'm probably not gonna release that color again until my brick and mortar opens up. But by Barrel and Flow, I am expecting to have my whole thing is to, I want to, like my man Sean says, it's about the culture and it's about being able to engulf in that culture. I was in middle school, high school when it was cool to rock the hardware classics and and the jerseys and things of that nature. I am a sneakerhead. So I am all about home jerseys, away jerseys, and then you know your little mixer that that they do. So the next one is probably going to be. This man
is not lying though. He's a real sneakerhead. He has a set of Jordans for driving, yo.
Now hold on.
He's just not driving. Yo, he had driving J's in his car.
No, that was my walking around the hotel.
Hey, Philly niggas is different.
Before y'all continue, I will have to mute all of y'all. Hold on.
Well, I need the hat though. I need the hat.
You know what that is, right?
Hey, Fawn Weaver.
You know what? I'm gonna have to mute y'all because y'all are not listening to me.
Go ahead, Dr. Studz.
Opportunity to ask and see. I muted all of y'all. Okay. Now I'm gonna ask the question. Now, Drew, you're the only one who's unmuted. Okay. Drew, tell me about your jacket. How do people get the jacket if it's available? Because these other fools are not listening. I muted them. Go ahead.
So new merch. So this is something new, and this is me also paying homage to Mac because he's on this side, right? So like,
yes, he is.
That satin jacket that he did is dope. And like, when he went to when he came down for Sean's this side, when he came down to Sean's release in Montgomery County, and in my mind I was like, all right, well, we had our logo, but we were doing designs and all that stuff, and I was like, yo, every time Mac puts on that jacket, he commands the room, right? And he can be seen across the room, no matter what.
The colors and the fact of how it looks. Exactly.
And I said,
can you
God
unmute
damn it,
me now?
Be the same.
You're unmuted.
You were unmuted.
I'm gonna tell you right now. We coming for that jacket.
Wait.
Hold on, Drew. Go ahead, Drew.
Hold on. So for me, my thing was like, all right, it's very big marketing, and you see with our labels of our cans and all that stuff. It's a thing. So I wanted to make sure that we had clothing that we stood out in the room as well too, not to overshadow Mac or anybody. Like, all right, if Mac is in the corner, I'm in the other corner, and guess what? You can spot us both in the fucking room. But
check the northeast corner.
Collaborative competition.
Crafted Culture varsity jacket. Next time you see me in person.
Where can you get the jacket?
This jacket right here is a prototype only between me and my wife. We will produce more. We outsource all of our clothing. So the
if
hats,
if I send you something, could you send me one?
Oh yeah,
do it.
oh yeah. But
Reconsider. Resubmit it. Sure on the subject.
Hold on. What I do want to say is this: all of our clothing is outsourced by a Black-owned business right here in the DMV.
Screw them. I want to know if I can get a jacket.
You know we got your back like
chiropractics. Look,
he is on board with us. He likes the fact that we're a Black-owned brewery because he's never done clothing for a Black-owned brewery. And as far as hats, clothing, the hoodies and stuff that you see me wearing, does it all. And we're going to have an everlasting relationship with him as well too, because that's the biggest thing about us.
It's a Black business that you partner with, that you're saying it's making your jackets and hoodies and all that.
I don't.
Now, Mac, is your company also Black-owned that you partnered to make your?
I got my hand up.
Hold on. Mac, is your company also Black-owned that you're working with that's making your jackets and shirts and all that, or you went with another source?
Listen, that's what I was trying to talk about.
I know before Sean
jumped in
here.
Commercial brewing yet because I couldn't do it with a Black-owned company. So if it ain't Black-owned, it ain't even happening with me, bro.
I love it.
That's all I need to know.
Drew,
all right, now Sean, here's your opportunity. Black Viking. Here's your opportunity to say what you got to say. Go on.
Man, you like the principal, Dr. Denise. You hitting people with the ruler, man.
I got you with y'all. Y'all are just.
Your hall pass,
he put a jacket on. He letting you know what it is.
Our shirts are Black-owned, like made by Black-owned folks, right? But what I'm saying is, to my man Crafted Culture, yo, I need that hat because in 2 weeks. And listen, because this is very important. Y'all think listen,
Drew, I need that hat too.
Liquid's prevailing for Sean right now. That's that plum basil.
Hey, that plum. Hey, first of all, that plum basil was hitting. That Jones was torch, as the folks say in DC. Listen, in 2 weeks, we are going back on Fox 5 DC to promote our new release for the stout that I was telling you about, right? And so we got. But look, this is what I'm saying. This is why I said it's important. We got our shirts, right? No problem. But I was about to order a hat from Crowns and Hops, right? To go with, all over the Baldini, right? So I got the Crowns and Hops hat and the Black Viking shirt. But if Crafted Culture got saved. Hey, but look, that's different though. You like Fred, you got
classy shit. You good,
right? I'm just bald. I'm bald. So I gotta make sure I do push-ups every day so I'm not bald and fat. You said what?
Too much testosterone. That's what that means.
Oh, is that what that means?
It means you can have too much.
You can have too much. You can lose your hair up here.
This motherfucker's out here paying to get some, and you can have too much.
Right.
First off, I'm really mad at Mac for this soft flex. He put the jacket on, and he buttoned that motherfucker up, yo.
Wait,
that Jones job fresh.
Wait,
that Jones job fresh.
Drew,
y'all ain't peep though. Y'all ain't peep.
Hold on.
Oh, I seen that too, but Drew, I need that.
I saw that. We were talking about it.
Sizzle, I need the hat too.
Both of y'all brothers, I need that. You wanted to support Crowns and Hops, right? With the hat, right? Right.
So the thing is, we got shirts, right? We got you just okay. I see what you did there.
That's
PhD. That's PhD stuff right there.
Yeah.
So my point is, we got shirts, right? We got Black Viking shirts with King Cross on the left chest, right? But we don't have hats.
Can we get that shirt?
You can get that shirt, but we don't have the hat yet because he does have that shirt, right? So my man,
so Ren got the shirt, but I don't.
No, I got it. Philly, Mac. Well, yeah, Ren does have the shirt. Ren and Mac. Drew, next time we.
Let me ask this question. How did Ren get it? I was on your show. Why didn't you tell me about it?
Well, so real quick though,
I drove down.
He did drive down.
You're fine, Mac. I'm talking about Ren. Ren is up in Buffalo and he got the shirt. So I want to know how he got the shirt and I didn't.
I'm close.
So you remember I said that Ren helped us settle.
That's a real question. Why did you reach over like you could actually tap Mac?
It was so perfect.
Thank you. Oh, you got two brothers here.
It's okay, baby. Look.
Pass me. Hold on. Let me get to this.
Shut up.
Ren acted as a mediator. Okay, I get it. That's cool.
Yeah, the real questions here tonight.
Corporate to help you, but that's cool. I get it. But you don't even give me a shirt.
They need
You
you.
don't even let me know. Hey, can you buy this shirt to support me? Like I don't.
I
mind
got
if
you.
know
Listen, I know you got that bread because you got that PhD level.
That's what I'm
I
getting
got
at.
you. I'm gonna send it to you. But listen, crafted culture. We need a hat because I love Crowns and Hubs. I love Tio and Benny. But we want to. I want to rock that hat on
Listen,
Fox 5.
Listen,
right?
He didn't
Sizzle,
jump
you hear
over.
that?
You see how he did that?
I heard it. So it's
Yeah,
funny
he
you
did.
said that though, right? Yeah. I was here to hit some of y'all up, right?
I'll pay for it, nigga. I'm not going to ask for free. I'll pay for it.
Thank you.
Ain't no sweat. We good on that, right?
Look, and Sean
pay
feeling
for
good
it, but I
because
ain't gonna
he's dropping an N
That's
word
the route.
over and over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my fault, man. I'm hype.
No, you
what
You got that joint
I'm
going,
with
right?
my peoples. I'm
You
with my
with family.
peoples.
You with
He
family.
don't give me a
Right?
shirt. Listen, he said
February
he was
last
he don't
year.
give me a shirt.
February last year, we had the Bloomberg Quick Take. I appeared on Bloomberg Quick Take.
What's
Then
that?
they did a short bio on us, like a little 4-minute bio on us.
Okay.
Bloomberg.
Whoa,
You know
whoa,
what
whoa,
Bloomberg
whoa,
is?
No, I know what Bloomberg is.
Bloomberg,
I know what Bloomberg is,
Right.
but what's Bloomberg Quick Take? I don't know what Bloomberg Quick Take
So,
is.
so the
Quick
Quick Take
Take
is like
on
a short talk
Bloomberg.
that
I
they
mean,
do on
what's-
Twitter.
I mean, I know that, but is it online? Is it on TV? Like, what is it?
Yeah, it's online. The Quick Take is online.
Okay, got you. I know
Right.
what Bloomberg is. Stop playing on me.
I got
I
you.
watch
You know
that
what?
every
I'm just going to
Friday.
share it with y'all. Like, yo, these motherfuckers, you know
Right?
what I
Yeah,
talk about
share
here,
it so
dog.
we can
I
share
got
it
y'all.
too.
I'm gonna hit y'all
Listen,
on Twitter with these joints.
Share it,
But
unlike what
the
he did.
producer-
Unlike what he did with that T-shirt.
Is that what we're doing?
Sizzle, I
Dr.
believe in
Denise,
you.
is that what we're doing? Come on,
What are we
Dr.
doing?
Denise.
Dr. Denise be
She
on
said
some
I don't
shit. She's
share.
trying to tap motherfuckers to the internet on some ghost ass shit. Look.
Hey man, she from Detroit, bro. I wouldn't play with her.
I'm Detroit.
Hey,
okay?
real quick.
People think I'm from LA. I'm like, no, I'm from Detroit. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
So
get
you,
that right.
so you
know,
really
son.
about that life?
I used to
Let
mess
him
with
know,
somebody
son.
from Detroit. She kind of wild.
But no, all seriousness, real quick, a major shout out to my brother Sean and the shirt that he's wearing as a part of the DMV Collective.
That's
the Black
right.
Brew Movement.
Yeah,
They
that's
are
right.
our
Y'all
liaison.
got shirts?
That's representing, like, if it's a husband and wife operation.
Oh my God, yo.
Wait a minute, they
I
got
love
shirts.
it.
Another shirt.
got
Another
whole
shirt
shirts,
we don't know
G.
about.
No,
I
that's
bought
that's
this.
the
I
Black-
bought
that's the
this.
Black-
I bought this.
But
I
that's
bought
the
it.
Black Brew Movement. Make sure you follow them on all social media handles and all that stuff.
Facts.
They are the liaison for the DMV Collective. They pretty much help us and make sure that the communication is transparent between all the DMV Black-owned
And
breweries and
excuse me.
So
I want
go
to
ahead.
say one thing. That's really what I wanted to talk about, because that's the part. All jokes aside, that's the part that we're not talking about. Being as though, like, you know, me being in Pennsylvania, it's only 3 Black-owned breweries. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So that's that, you know, it's only 3 Black-owned breweries, and I'm cool. I'm extremely like tight with one of them. I haven't really had the opportunity to really mush well with the other, and that's why I call these folks right here, because, you know, to have this collective, to have that DMB collective, and it's only 2 hours away, I know it's possible. And how I've been following them since 2019, just so we clear.
Yeah, they've been around. They've been
I'm on
around.
CPT, my guy. I got here late.
So like when you're thinking about it, as I said before, it's like, I know for a fact I could have been in a lot of different stores. I've had a lot of different commercial breweries hit me up when I was even smaller, to produce, as my man Drew would say, to produce my liquid.
Love it.
Liquid.
And I can't do it because
Liquid intrusion.
y'all are coming. It's
All
lot
about the liquid.
more, especially with Black History Month. It's a lot more breweries now. That's breweries that are reaching out to Black-owned breweries.
Facts.
Because they don't know how to,
Yeah.
as my man Wiz Khalifa said on the Taylor Poltergeist mixtape. It's like major labels, they know how to monopolize the $1 million investment. They know how to get that money and keep it going. They don't know how to cultivate
Facts.
that the art of it. They know
Our
how
sales have been great this month.
But you know what?
That grassroots
beer
movement.
industry.
But here's my question. Here's my question for you, Mac. You say they don't know how to cultivate, but has there been any push for them to need to learn how to?
Thank you.
Well, how you gonna push them though? How you gonna push them and you
Hold
don't have
on.
access to them?
Hear me when I say this, because that's what I was saying when they were talking about how, you know, the NBA had protested for excuse me, we've been drinking Breonna Taylor, and then they stopped, because I know a lot of other breweries that have come out. I have been called to come join in a commercial brew situation because they couldn't get what they wanted out of the deal.
Facts.
So you thought you was gonna bring me,
bro? Facts.
Bro,
You know, again,
I mean,
undervalued.
I'm college educated, but at the end of the day, that KD, that 3.5 still costs $35 to $40 a
But listen, but see, here's the
like,
thing. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. We talk about value, right? But you also have standards. You have set your line in the sand for what you are willing to accept and what you're not willing to
25
accept.
cents an ounce, bro.
But here's my thing. People, larger companies are not used to people like you. A lot of people will see a larger brand and will say, here's my opportunity to jump on that bandwagon and be on there, like Ren's doing. But here's my thing, Mac. You had set a standard for yourself and you've stuck to it. A lot of people don't. They set a boundary, but they're willing to bend it. That's the thing.
Yo,
That's my point.
Hey, real quick.
That's the point that I'm bringing up.
Can I give y'all one real quick
about this culture
on that same note
about black people in this space? That's what I mean, because they don't know how to incorporate more black dollars. Yeah, they know they got a few black dollars, but
I'm gonna hop on that, Mac.
So now you got
to. I gotta hop on that too.
Scissor, I'm gonna hop in after you. Go ahead.
I'm gonna hop on that, right?
John going after Scissor
around here.
Definitely
When I start talking to folks, I say every black consumer should be a cyclist. You should take your dollar and cycle it through every black-owned business that you can find. But every black-owned business that stands up, that erects, should be a siphon. You should find ways to pull money into your community out of other demographics, right? So that's a big thing we do around here. It's a joke, but I say our brewery gets blacker as the sun goes down, right? Because all day, like, we be in this joint and
turn in the
suburbs. The suburbs come out. They be here for the Ohio hour, where everything made in the state of Ohio is $4. They here for that all day, every day, right? But right now, if I walk out there, here's what's crazy: my brewery is 60% women on a Friday night.
Facts.
And it's like 97% black.
Facts.
Right? So they're starting to get the vision, right? We did this for a whole year. So starting February 1st of this year, we a few days into this, I laid out a challenge to every black-owned bar and restaurant in my city. We called it the Black Bar Initiative, right? I challenged them to diversify the offering on their bar. I'm a brewery. Liquor people should have never looked at me, right? Because bars and restaurants should have been the ones. So we challenged every bar and restaurant to pick 4 black-owned brands, put them on their shelf, and try to outsell us in those brands. And we did it. Everyone participating gets an invitation to what we call Friendsgiving for the culture. So in November, we all gonna come together and we're gonna break bread. Y'all talking about building tables. The table already built. We just waiting to set that motherfucker now.
You're a legend in Ohio, bro.
I got the distributor support. I got the supplier support.
Thanks, Drew.
You know what I'm saying? We was like, yo, run it. We don't distribute our beer, so I don't benefit from nobody else doing this, right? But we said that to everyone outside of this initiative, it's going to be a community effort, right? We're going to talk our shit amongst ourselves to like give off the competition aspect of this thing. So,
Yo, but the thing is, real quick, and Drew, just real quick, you was in the gifted and talented class. I could tell. You was in the GT class.
Who, Drew?
No, you, my
Not
dude.
at all, my guy.
Hey, listen, you said you was in the hood, but you went to schools with white people, right?
Yes.
So you was GT. The suburbs, which is white people, which is an enclave.
Way to say it because we didn't want to say what we wanted to say today.
Which is an enclave for white people, right? So
you mean like playing golf? You mean like playing golf?
Like.
I mean, like I disc golf every now and then. I go curling from time to time.
So that's what I'm saying, though.
Ski club, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. You a visionary. So it took somebody that was exceptional, gifted, and talented with a vision to do all of this, right? Man, you saying nah, but look, if that was the case, if it was nah, then there would be more of you.
No, I am ignorance on fire, my guy. I don't always know what I'm doing, but I'm constantly excited to do some shit.
No, but that I'm trying to tell you that's some exceptional stuff because look, the fact that there's 9,000 breweries and there's less than 80 black-owned breweries, right, is a problem. The bigger problem, in my opinion, is the fact that in 2010 there were 3,500 breweries, right? So in a span of 12 years, they built 5,500 breweries, right? And we still only less than 80. That's the real problem.
But does that surprise you though? Like, here's my thing.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't surprise me. But what I'm saying
about black ownership, when you think about any of that stuff, right?
Should
like
I say it, Mac?
You get what I'm saying? Like homes,
should I say it today?
Businesses, like it doesn't surprise me. Go ahead, sis.
Do it. All right, cool. We're gonna do it, yo. We different, man. We mad different, right?
That's my point. That's my point.
I was never in the gifted and talented class. I was barely ever even in class, yo. All right.
That don't mean you wasn't in the gifted and talented class. The fact that you was raised in the hood and then you went to school with white people means you was gifted and talented. You just chose.
I had athletic ability that they did not have in they
class. Come on, man. You playing me right now. Because I was in the gifted and talented class. I know how that goes.
Let me say what you're trying to say. What you're trying to say is we have a natural affinity to do what it is that we do. Period. There's nobody else that can do what we do. I don't care whether it's cooking, dancing, fashion, music. That is us. That's what you're trying to say. And there is no lesson or education on it. It's inherently in us. Period. That's what you're trying to say.
But you know what? Hold on. Let me give Sean his period in the spotlight because he been. What you got to say? Go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Say what you go ahead. Say what you got to say. I want to give you the spotlight, man.
You talking to me?
Yeah, you don't see
it. Hold on. My whole point, though, Crafton, was that you are an exceptional dude. This ain't me gassing you up, right? You're I can tell by the way that you speak and your hunger for knowledge and your cultural capital that you're an exceptional dude. And everybody on here is an exceptional person. Dr. Denise literally has a PhD, right? So what I'm saying is,
Sizzle look like, wait, what?
Like literally has a PhD, right? Like
somebody asked me, I know what's up.
Somebody asked me about Denise earlier. They was like, "Yo, what's up with KinkySudz?" I was like, I ain't talked to her in a minute. So I'm glad I'm glad I'm on the tube stream or whatever this joint is, right? So my whole point being is you gotta be like for us, we gotta be exceptional in order to hit these different benchmarks, right? And so what's that?
You know what? I'm gonna cut in here. You know what the thing that gets me? What I love to see is how we're starting to get into the business part of things. But I think the biggest thing that's still missing, and this is the thing I always push for, is that we need to have more Black investors. Because as far as I'm concerned, as much as we try to hustle to get the money, whether it's through sales, whether it's through funding, whether it's through investors, venture capitalists, angel investors, having someone that looks like you who cuts that check means so much more than
all our investors are Black.
But here's my thing: having to shuck and jive,
right?
Shuck and jive for investors that don't look like you. And to me, that is
got me fucked up. I don't like the dance no
He lean with it, rock with it.
Listen,
go ahead, man.
Here's my thing. But here's my thing: what you guys are missing. You guys are actively looking for. But here's my thing: you guys are actively looking for Black investors. You guys have partnered with Black-owned businesses to get your T-shirts, to do your distribution, to do anything, marketing, to do your social media. But the biggest thing is, right, and you even have Black investors, but how many of us have that opportunity to connect with individuals like that? The fact that it's such a small pool of Black investors to begin with,
but
that's the biggest thing. And I'm like, we need to increase that, because when you're on the other side of that table and you are the one who dictates the money, that speaks volumes.
No, it doesn't. But look, I see hands up. I see hands up. Our investors. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be quiet after this. I'm gonna be quiet after this. Our investors are Black, right? They're millionaires. 3 investors are multi-millionaires, right?
Okay.
What I'm saying is,
You
I had a
also live in a state that has that sort of.
Thank you, Ren.
Of course.
There
But
it
look,
is.
hold on. Our IP attorney is black,
Okay.
right?
You
The
talking about
dude that
what's
did
his
our
name,
shirts is-
Koki or whatever his name is? Brother's
that?
name will start with a K.
Brother Amadou.
No,
Brother
that's
Amadou.
our Amadou, right? Our investor,
Okay,
Koki,
okay.
is black. He has he lives on a 1 acre property in Northwest DC. Nobody has a 1 acre property. But listen,
he's considered a VC. I'm talking about angel investors, lower than that.
But listen to what I'm saying, and I'm gonna be quiet for a minute after this, right?
No,
I
you're
had
not.
one.
No, you're not.
I had one of the most racist comments ever in my almost 40 years of life said
40.
to me today,
40.
right? Right.
I gotta hear it.
Oh, wait, he said, "Damn."
Look, I am old and I love it, right? But I look good because that melanin don't crack, my dude. But look,
don't rub it in. Don't rub it in.
A dude said to me some crazy stuff. It was yesterday, matter of fact, crazy stuff, right? And so I'm looking like, yo, I should choke this dude, right? I should knock his ass out. But I'm like, I gotta play it cool, right? So I
Can you
hit
tell us
dude
what he
back.
said?
Play it cool with someone who does not look like.
Can you
you.
tell us what he
Right.
said?
I'm not gonna tell you what he said
You know what?
on here.
If you're not gonna say, I'm gonna have to take you out of spotlight.
Hey, listen to what I'm saying though.
The principal has spoken.
He is in charge of making sure that we get what we need, so we can have all the money that we want. If we don't have access to certain stuff, then we like it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And, like it don't matter.
So what you're saying is, that dude that's a potential racist is in control of your whole future.
Hold on.
He's in control of stuff for us to move forward, right?
Hold on. Hold that thought, Ren.
You didn't put me on the spotlight. I'm
I know where you're
chew
going.
these gummies up so I can wake up tomorrow.
Hold on. Now, Philly Mac had something he wanted. He had raised his hand. I'm gonna give Mac the floor. Go on, Mac. Before you go in, Ren.
But the point, I believe your point was saying, I was listening to Sean very intensely.
He made sure he got close to the camera.
I was, but what I'm let him go because I didn't lost my chance. I be trying to hold. I don't be trying to cut nobody off, and I be.
All right, Drew still got his hand up too.
Okay, Drew.
All right, so I've said this on every live that I've been part of, and this is something that has to be said. And I've said it on, you know, all that jazz. The biggest thing is this: like for us here at Liquid Intrusion, yes, there's black investors. That's dope. That's great, right? I want the entire ecosystem to be black.
Right.
I want my hot farm.
Yes. Complete vertical and horizontal consolidation to minority efforts
to be black. I want my chemist and biologist that's processing yeast to be black. And I want my influencers to be black. So that's something that we really need to work on right now. Because here's another thing. This is a gym. And this is why I've been very, very passionate of having my hand up. Because yes, there's Barrel and Flow. There's Blacktoberfest. Why isn't there a beer fest during February?
Thank you.
So, it's funny you say I'm
trying to build one on Juneteenth. I'm just saying.
Especially in places.
We got one coming on Juneteenth.
Hold on. We're here, especially
in
places like Detroit,
we do.
Atlanta.
We got some coming on Juneteenth.
I'll be on vacation that week. I turned 40 that weekend.
But here's the thing.
Oh shit! Happy party, shouty.
Well, here's the thing. Like Drew said, why do we not have one in February, especially in cities like Detroit, Atlanta, Inglewood? You think about
they don't got the money.
They do have money.
No.
Make it happen.
But on
the flip side, like I will shout out Mac because Mac last year is starting the trend of Juneteenth, and this year me and Sizzle supposed to be up there, and we're gonna make this shit happen because it's gonna be dope. But in the same aspect,
Dr.
like
D,
for him,
y'all all better be there.
For him, for Mac to take liberty.
I want the jacket so I can pull up in it properly. That's all I'm saying.
But for Mac to take the liberty and say, "Hey, Juneteenth, I'm doing this shit." How come somebody hasn't said? And maybe I should be channeling myself. Maybe I should be mad at myself because I haven't said. You know what I mean? Oh fuck! Why the fuck haven't we done this shit during fucking February? Right?
They don't have the money. The The money is there, yes, but you have to consolidate it.
No,
you have to consolidate it.
Hold on.
He's like, I'm gonna stop talking.
Because the shit that y'all saying is just not true. The article came out and said,
"Nope, hold on. Nope, I'm gonna mute you again, Sean. I'm gonna tell you.
I'm gonna hang up.
Hold on. Listen, here's my thing. I'm gonna say before you go in. You just sat here and said a few minutes ago that you have Black investors who are millionaires. So you cannot sit here and say that the money is not there. Okay. Right. We have a large collective that could invest in it. The problem is again, people are afraid to. There may be challenges in a way. So again, we got to pull in additional resources for it. But before, I'm not going to continue on with it because I'm going to give Sizzle an opportunity because he's been trying to say something.
Now you got to let me reply to that. I'm going to
let you reply, but I want to let Sizzle have this moment real quick.
So, couple things. I want to go back. If you don't have somebody Black making your swag, you can holler at Fortune over Fame.
There we go.
Okay. That's who does our shit over here. If they don't do it, we got a female-owned business that does it. Right.
Quick question: are the hats for all my lock-headed people? Are they starter hats? Or because the starter hats don't fit around the locks. You know what I'm saying?
Do not.
That's why I had to deny. You know what I'm saying, the folks beforehand. So we need to know like what's.
So he does a variety of hats. It depends on what style you need. We can get the dad hats. We can get the fitted. We can get the snapbacks.
We talking about the snapbacks, but it's a certain brand of snapbacks.
Right. Listen, I don't know that side. I come up with ideas and they make them happen. So you want to hit up Fortune over Fame. That's them.
Fortune over Fame. Okay.
Yeah. They're out of Florida.
Put that in the chat.
But we went to the same high school. So hit them up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My man Raheem runs that joint. He does really well with his shit. That was the first thing I had to drop. Right. Definitely. We already do a Juneteenth party over here. The city of Gahanna, which is the suburb that I'm in, asked us to put on a beer fest over here. They want a beer fest in this city. But to do it the way we would do it, they don't have the space. Was the thing that we ran into. So now we got to go into like Columbus proper and do a thing. But we definitely working on it. But we also have this thing that we call the Around the Block Tour. That's a Sipping with Sizzle project where I'm going to be pulling up in y'all cities. So be ready with a list of 5 Black-owned establishments that we can roll up on when I come into town. Because we're going to take Black people, put them in Black SUVs, and ride around town and put our money in the Black-owned establishments in all y'all cities.
Have some colors when you come to Philly, bro. Don't come with no Black SUV, man.
But that's how we get down, out here. That's how we get down. They're gonna feel like the feds pulling up when we come through.
I was about to say the same thing.
It's gonna work here in the DMV.
You clear the way.
That's what they do.
Especially because in Buffalo, if you pulling up to a Black neighborhood, it's in the hood. We don't live good here in Buffalo. That's why I said Sean lived different.
I want
his thing for living in DC, living in Maryland.
He went away. You see that Sean actually.
Did y'all mute Sean? Did y'all mute Sean?
So there's a difference when it comes to Maryland, right? Because Sean is north of DC and he's in Moco, and Moco, like you said, the most popular county. I'm in PG County. It's the
PG, the richest county out there, motherfucker, yo.
The most affluent, predominantly Black county in the state, and it works. But like also, the beer scene is more strict in Montgomery County, and Sean has to go through a bunch of shit in Montgomery County. It is the only 4-tier system in the United States.
So here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Here's what I wanted to say, because I listen to everybody. I forget my chain of thought. So the first thing I wanted to point out. When it comes to the Black community, we have this preconceived notion that we are going to get people that's going to invest in us, that have known us for years, that know exactly what we're doing, blah, 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 blah. And some of us may. But 9 times out of 10, like when I'm looking at a brother like Sizzle, me and him have talked about moves that's about to be made. And I know that brother from last year. You see what I'm saying? We just happen to have a good link. When it comes to the Black community, we are still under the preconceived notion that we're going to get rich with we have this village mentality, and we think that we're going to get rich and we're going to have the backing from that same village. That's not true.
That's a fact.
You're going to have people that look like you that are going to invest in you, but they're not going to be from your village. They're going to be from other people's village, and you have to be able to identify with them. Yes, they're going to look like you. You can find people that look like you to invest in you. Yes, you can. Yes, you can find people that's going to want to build with you the same way. Yes, you can. But they're not going to be your quote-unquote day ones, your quote-unquote sandlot. That's not going to be who it is. It's going to be newcomers. This whole thing about no new friends, you're fucking stupid. You see what I'm saying? I make new friends every time I walk outside. Like, is it going to be people? I have friends that I know if I really need to do something, crazy, I can call that friend. I know if I really need to put on a suit and tie and go talk with someone speaking the King's English, I need to bring this friend. But that's number one. The number two notion on that was we were talking about, I forget who it was. They said something about just like bringing different festivals and things to their communities. Yes, it is absolutely possible. And this is why I really try not to cut people off, because I'll forget my chain of thought while people are talking. When it comes to joining and having these different venues, like when we're talking about Juneteenth and things of that nature, we I'm trying to think of a very, very politically correct way to say this.
Man, don't do it, bro. Just do it. Just say it. Turn your code switch off.
We gotta cut these fucking do nothings the fuck off, bro. We gotta cut these motherfuckers that are just trying to be down with this movement. We have to cut them off. You see what I'm saying? And I don't care.
It has to be collective, though. It has to be collective. Like, just because, like, and I feel like this is the thing that we don't do, because we try to do this out of respect of each other. And I'm gonna cut in just for a quick second here, because I know that we may see something. So here's the thing: something may happen between you and another person, and let's just use the fact that this other person is a larger brand. Let's say something may happen between you and this person that doesn't sit well with your soul. Right. And you're like, you know what? I'm not going to mess with this person moving forward. But you don't say anything, right? Because you don't want to ruin other relationships with this larger brand. So you bite your tongue, right? And you choose who's people to give them a heads up on certain things. Now, listen, now hold on. Now, Sizzle, I agree with you, but I'm just saying I have seen this happen.
You have no clue what I'm about to say. So if you blindly agree with me, I appreciate you for that shit. But
hold on. I'm just going to say, here's the thing. I'm just going to say, based on how you responded. But what I'm getting at is this, is that we have, and that's where, again, where I talked about walking that fine line. When do you say something, when do you don't? And that's my biggest thing.
And this is what I brought up. And this is why, like I said, I envy all of you, because I'm not very diverse when it comes to that line of communication.
Gotcha.
I'm very how do we say, meet me the fuck outside.
You're very tribal.
I don't really
unrefined, as they like to call it sometimes, right?
I mean,
I believe that the word is gully.
And it probably could have got the same thing, but because
he's real about his liquid.
Again, I'm very much meet me outside.
Okay.
Because I don't want to talk about. I'm not looking for no Insta fame. I'm not looking for no. And the crazy part is, my man Malik, I remember he pulled me to the side. I felt very special and honored when he pulled me to the side at Barrel and Flow, and he was just like, "So how do you move into this game?" He probably think I don't even remember when he asked me that question. Like, how do you move in this game? And I said, don't ask for permission. Just do it. I'll ask for forgiveness. I'm not asking for permission. And when it comes to a lot of these people that are in these quote unquote beer influencers, these quote unquote beer brands, these quote unquote beer breweries that are in these spaces, and when you go and you talk to them, and you pull their coattails, very one-on-one. I'm a as my man Carlton on Fresh Prince would say, I'm a very
Okay.
off the hip shooter, bro. See me eye to eye. I want to see your reaction when I pull your card. And when I pull your card, I don't need an audience. It can be one-on-one. I want to talk to you.
Facts, man to
You
man.
see what I'm saying? Because as I said, if you feel any type of notion that I'm leaping, it's probably real. You can see me outside.
I mean, here's the thing. Like you said, you don't ask for forgiveness, right? You say you don't ask for permission. So you say it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. That's basically the line of quote that you live by. Then I'm assuming.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this, bro.
Let me address that real quick.
Now I'm gonna say, go ahead, Sizzle.
Forgiveness over permission. I rock with that, right? But I definitely. So when we opened up, we brewed a beer called Code Switch, right? It's a saison, rosemary, sage, thyme, and bay leaves.
Delicious.
Right? Because we said we was turning our code switch off. We no longer going to pretend to be what someone else says we have to be to operate in this space. So we made a beer dedicated to doing the same thing, because beer originally was not brewed with hops. It was natural herbs and spices. So we did a whole piece on that, and we turned the code switch off on beer as well. But as we were opening up, I refused to do the dog and pony show with any of the liquor reps who came in here. When I told them to bring me your black-owned brands, I meant it. They came in here. They sent me a rep who told me that my consumer wanted Remy Martin. And I was like, first off, Fetty Wap ain't from my city. Okay?
I mean, I like Remy Martin.
You do, right? But guess what they don't have? They don't have, like, tangible data on the African-American craft beer consumer. So he had no clue what my target demo, what my customers
target demographic. Thank you. They talk about, they talk about this.
You know why he didn't know? Because there was no data that existed on us.
Again,
no
why?
one studies us yet.
Thank you, right? Sizzle.
They didn't know that. So I told him, I said, no, you got to get out of here. And then they sent a black dude in here to talk to me. And he was talking fast. I said, you can talk as fast as you want. I'm listening real slow, motherfucker. Okay? That's how I get down. And I see y'all.
I see you, Drew. I see you.
56 over there.
Hey.
That's sold out in my state. There's no Uncle Nearest 56 or 84 in the state of Ohio right now.
56 where it's at.
But I want to get back to it. I did it with that. They sent me the black dude. He came in and he represents some national brands from a multicultural effort. They want to make an effort to get what they call liquid to lips in a more colorful spectrum.
Yes.
And they pay for that, right? So one of his brands was paying me about $1,200 a month to keep 3 bottles in these spots on my shelf, right? Didn't matter how many of them I sold. They just had to have the placement. All right. A full year went by. I talked to this dude. A very popular vodka brand is in his catalog. And he told me, he was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, because you're a straight shooter. It's hard to get black money out of them. They'll give money for women's stuff. They'll give money for dog stuff. They'll give money for LGBTQ initiatives. But when you say it's black stuff, they don't want to do it. Yeah, they got colors just like yours, but I'm not gonna say their name. But I'll tell you this. When I put those 14 black-owned bars together in a Zoom conference, and I had the news come and write an article on it, that brand called a black dude from Detroit and sent him down into my spot. And I was like, now that you here, I'm going to rock with your brand, because if I don't, we don't get another you.
Exactly.
Right? So we're going to support those in position and the thought leaders in this industry, regardless of what brand they represent along the way. Right? Yeah, I got a dude, he got De Leon and Ciroc in his catalog, right? But he's the only black dude in his field. So we're gonna rock with him. We're gonna carry him. I didn't carry Ciroc last year because Diddy don't own it.
He never did.
Say
Never did.
it again,
Thank
Susan.
you.
Right?
Say
He
it
don't
again.
own it. Come on, yo, look. Readers are leaders, motherfucker. Grab a book.
No. But see, you're right. Readers are leaders, but majority of people
I
don't
worked
go
in
that
country
deep.
clubs. I remember when Ciroc came out. You see what I'm saying? I used to
He's got a great profit share, and he's got
He
creative
does.
control over the brand. And that's
Exactly.
dope. But because now,
listening to a couple
because a
right
black
now.
dude represents that shit, right? We was like, okay, we're gonna allow that to be in, right? We let that in because of my man right there,
But you know
right?
what?
Because if we don't get what we told him, we wouldn't do it unless he bought dollars behind De Leon, because that was the black-owned brand, right? We got to have both. He couldn't just like isolate De Leon and bring us Ciroc, and he was like, he's cool with that. So we carry right now, we're up to 30 different bottles from black-owned distilleries that sit on our shelves right now.
I love it. I
Right?
love it.
And unfortunately, the only black-owned brewery that's been on our draft system all year has been Mac. It's just been us and Mac. We had 2 kegs from Mac, yo. You know, we looking for more, because ain't no way in hell Juneteenth gonna come around and anybody but us is gonna be on the draft.
Bro, tell me what you wanted. I drive it up myself.
Listen, I want to add to what you were talking about earlier, Mac. Let me say this to what you were talking about earlier. I know how to toe that line in between what's technically politically correct and when to say, all right, I'm about to pull your ass to the side. We're going to talk man to man. I'm very good at that because I'm humble, I'm quiet, and they don't expect me to do that. But when I come to you, and I'm always straightforward, but when I come to you and I tell you what I'm going to tell you, I don't want to hear no bullshit, because then I already heard everything else you had to say. Now I'm coming to you like a man. I'm going to tell you what it is. And if you don't like it, as you said, we can take that next step if that's what you're going to. So I don't have no problem.
I got something to say to
doing
that,
what you're
man.
talking about.
I got something to say to that.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you finish.
No, I'm pretty much done. We almost at the 2-hour mark. I'm gonna say this before we do end.
Hey, we gotta get the Black Nerd shit, yo. You promised me some Blerd video game shit.
This is
Nah,
fine.
that we ain't even worry about that right now.
Here's the thing,
This
nerd.
was the best episode we've had
Yes, I'm gonna say
since
nerd.
our inception. Period. It was organic. It was raw. It was love.
Here's the thing.
All right, Suzz, Dr. Suzz, do you think?
No, here's my thing. Nerd doesn't necessarily mean anything with anime, with gaming, right? With reading. This could mean anything. And I think in this sense, when it comes to business, we don't see a lot of this when it comes to Black people, right? And I think the other thing is when you think about it outside of like influencers, right? We need to talk more about the fact of what we do as Black entrepreneurs outside of fashion, outside of, the music.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Sports. Like we need to talk
Music,
about what we're
sports, and
doing with that,
fashion,
right? Now, here's my thing, Ren. You talk about the fact of, coming to a person man to man. And I think that as Black men, a lot of you, right, have had those situations where you guys have had to come to someone and have had to assert yourself in a way to say, look, either we're going to talk about this as men or we're not. But I think the thing, because again, I'm the only female representation on here, there is some differences when we think about how Black women have to move in these spaces. And I think, honestly, when we think about the differences between Black men and Black women, there are some key differences that come up, especially when you think about it from a culture perspective, right? And I think the thing is that when we think about Black representation in brewing, when we think about that, I mean, I think that for Black women, there are way more hurdles that have to be crossed. Now, I'm not taking away from the Black men struggle that happens in brewery, because again, being a Black man in this industry, you're already viewed as you shouldn't be here. You're already viewed as someone who might come off a bit aggressive, or wow, you're doing something outside of sports, which again, we all know that the type of stupid assumptions that are being thrown out there, right? But I do think when it comes to the idea of being supportive of each other and really making sure that we're highlighting the Black women who are really pushing this industry as well. Some of you have done a great job with that, right? And I think, again, and Drew, I see you, like I see that. And I really appreciate all of you who are on here for doing that. From what it's your partner, your sister, business partners that you guys have worked with, you guys have done an excellent job in being able to pull your Black women with you. And that is something I really want to give you guys props on and give kudos to, because again, we do not talk enough about the fact of that partnership between Black men and Black women in this industry and as a whole. So I just wanted to at least throw that out there. But again, I do think that there are some separate struggles that we have to work together collectively to kind of overcome that type of stuff.
I just want to chime in because, like, for Libco, we're one of those unicorns because it's a husband and wife operation. My wife is co-owner, co-founder, co-head brewer of Liquid Intrusion, right? And she comes in, she'll do things, and like we play off of each other as far as owners, as far as like our strengths and our weaknesses. But for what it's worth, like everything that you just said, Dr. D, is like legit facts, and it helps us out a lot because, you know, with my wife, she wants to see. We really say it's all about the liquid, but in the same aspect, she understands that she's in a position that's going to come to the point to where we expect the Pink Boot Society to be knocking at the door for her because she's brewing a phenomenal IPA right now, right? And
hey, put their feet to the fire when they knock, though.
Right.
True.
Ask them to show you where the dollars go.
It's to the point to where, like, you know, we have to make sure that we are, I don't want to say playing the game right, as far as, you know, when people come forth, we are making sure that it's beneficial for both sides. But like, you know, with my wife, her biggest thing is that she really doesn't like being a part of the limelight. She doesn't like doing all that type of stuff. She likes doing things behind the scenes and let me be like the mouthpiece and all that stuff. But in the same aspect, we both own this brewery. And on our website, it says husband and wife owned. It says all these jazz, and she's just as equal as me. Like, it's 50-50 split down the line. So, you know, if God forbid, I love her to death, but if she chose to leave me, she got my goddamn ass. But it is what it is. But with that, that's how it's supposed to be, because for this business, for this brand, for this company to work, and for us to both believe in it, it's all about the liquid. So we went into it 50-50.
I like that.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I saw Max throw his hand up. Hold on.
Oh no, Sis had his hand up before me.
Oh, did he? Okay.
I just put it back down because I got tired.
Sean, you good back there?
I'm
So
sorry.
look,
Sis.
we talked a lot about what we doing for our communities as Black people, right? And you brought up a good point, Suds. Like, you brought up a good point, Doctor, right? A lot of us, especially, well, these men before me are like bringing their women along with them, right? I'm solo dad swag out here. People don't know it. I'm a single dad. I'm raising 5 kids at the crib while I'm doing
Love
this,
that.
right?
Sheesh. So, you know, I'm only playing.
But
Bullshit.
I'm not ignorant
Legend.
of what women
Legendary.
go through every day. So here at Crafted, we did this thing, and I'm putting pressure on everybody in my city to do the same, right? Every bar and restaurant is going to fall in line. We just launched what we call Working Women's Wednesdays, because we know that we pay everybody on the appropriate scale. We pay the position, not the person or the gender, right? So every woman doing the job makes the same as the man doing the job. That's not the case everywhere we go.
It's
So
not.
we give 20% off from 6 p.m. to close to all the ladies who come in here on Wednesday nights now.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
And we said, if any other bar and restaurant is not doing it, why are you going there? And this is going to stay in place until the wage gap is addressed effectively in our city.
Yes.
I
And
love it.
that's across the board, honestly.
Yes.
I mean,
So I'm throwing it out there. We doing it. If you need the template, if you need the buyer's guide for how to make this happen and still be profitable for your business, right? Like, I have these notes. We can do this.
And,
But
and
you know
this is
what?
why I fuck. And this is why I fuck
I
with
love it.
these individuals.
I was gonna say,
Mhm.
honestly, that speaks volumes to me, because, like I said, I'm in corporate, right? I'm in big pharma, and seeing the pay gap is ridiculous, honestly. I mean,
Yeah.
having to sit here and fight for and demonstrate why your value is what it is ridiculous. As a Black person and as a woman, it is absolutely ridiculous. So hearing what you're doing in this space and trying to drive awareness in addition to paying the worth of what it is speaks volumes to me. Speaks volumes. And I'm trying to do things like that in my space that I'm in right now. But I do think that what you're doing in this space where typically people like us are not shown, are not highlighted, are not recognized, or not given props to, that's amazing. So I really want to really highlight you for that and give you kudos for that, because again, that is something that I don't think And we need to do that more of giving kudos to people who are doing it. And the fact that you're willing to share it, that's the other thing that gets me. There's an opportunity for you to make some money off of that, but you're like, hey, let me share that with you because I want to enhance our community.
Yeah, because the goal isn't for us to make a ton of money off of it. It's to bring awareness to the fact that this is an issue that exists in our community. Now, we can't bring awareness to the issue that a lot of black men aren't going to tell you exists, that we know exist, right? Where black women are still paid more than us. Like there's a wage gap between black man and black woman.
Depending on the industry, I will say, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's a wage gap between black woman and black man in industry, right? But there's also because the cisgender white male is so, I don't understand it, how the one thing that gives us life, the fucking sun, hates these people, but they manage to rule the fucking world. I don't get it.
That's why I never understood Superman. I never understood Superman. He gets his power from the sun.
I say it all the time. Nobody questions that.
Hates these people.
Nobody questions that. And I got some allied people that I love, but I ask the question all the time. Why is it that it kills you, but I absorb it all?
I went to school in the suburbs.
You know why?
Me and my brothers I grew up on whole milk. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't but a handful of black girls at my school. So I was on whole milk all day, every day.
Listen,
in high school.
I'm gonna say this before we end, because we passed 2 hours. This is the longest live we've ever done.
Where are we meeting up after this?
Yeah,
hold on.
We can
I want everybody to
drop
something before we end off. And do not forget, this is gonna happen again before this month ends. I'm gonna do this again because I want to highlight y'all again, have these conversations. This is what it's about. So Mac, say what you was gonna say, then I'm gonna let everybody end with something before we end.
Exactly, one-liner. We'll have Mac go, and then we'll let everybody end with a one-liner.
I had a whole speech I wanted to.
No, you're gonna go. Listen, you're gonna go give your speech. Everybody, listen. Here's the thing. You're gonna give your speech, Mac, but then everybody after you is gonna give a one-liner. That's what I'm saying. Everybody do your speech.
The thing I really wanted to say, all jokes aside, and again, kudos. This is for that. It's when I bring my sister along and she comes with me with a lot of the brews and stuff like that. No, she doesn't help me with anything. She has a lot of influence though. And when I look at a lot of these, the Pink Boots initiatives and things of that nature, and I really dig into them. I really dig into them because it's a lot of black women that's in this craft beer industry. And I don't see them Pink Boots there, but I ain't gonna say nothing about that. We were I didn't really have a lot to say. I just wanted to chime in. I just didn't want to be rude to cut anybody off. It's when it comes to us and when it comes to male and female, and we were talking about the different pay scales. Yes, we're talking about different industries, but as we're getting into this new year, where we're a month in, we're talking about inflation. We're talking about
markets dropping, all kinds of stuff.
We're talking about all of that. I'm seeing right now, as far as black women are concerned, and again, I'm not saying that everything is 100% okay. Definitely not saying that before I say my next statement. But bro, y'all winning right now.
Listen, we don't have a choice.
That's the thing I'm going to add to that. Every industry, though, when it comes to every industry, even on the entrepreneurial side, black women are winning because now they are seeing, for lack of a better word, the matrix is seeing what's going on within the black culture and what's going on within the black family structure. And the black family structure is coming together in a whole nother way that has never been brought together since the 60s. And they have to figure out a way to break that apart. Dismantle. And that's happening today because you got a lot of weak men.
Government assistance in general.
Let me not say that. I'm not going to say they weak men. I'm going to say they just haven't had the opportunity to find their masculinity.
No, they're enabling that behavior. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And when it comes to women and being able to achieve these major goals of being entrepreneurs, being business owners, being industry leaders down the spectrum, when it comes to the African American culture, I try not to say black because it has lack in it, so I want to say can.
Dead.
So
Yeah.
you know, when we look at that, that's something that
I never even thought about that shit, yo.
No, but you know what?
You think of that?
You know
Yeah.
what? No, you know what? But no, you got to take out the L in there and put the back, because we are the backbone of this country. But that's just me.
Again, I'm never going to not say that we're not the backbone. But what I want to say is everything that we accomplish, we know that we're the backbone. But I think we spent so many years on trying to be the backbone. We need to identify and let people know that we can do whatever the fuck we put our mind to. You know, and we spent so many years, we spent the Reagan years trying to prove that we can go to college. That's been proven. We can do that.
Brother, we've done that. We've done that for a long time.
You know we can get to college. What
Yes.
we need to understand is that no matter what it is, you see what I'm saying? Because we're the only people in the world that feel like we need to follow every fucking rule that has ever been created for us to follow to be successful.
But that's because the system is set up that way, man.
At
That's
the end of the day, none of these fucking Fortune 500 companies have been there. Let's look. We're not even going to talk about all of them. We're just going to talk about liquor.
Well, we're 2 terrorists.
Where the fuck did your money come from during depression? During the
Prohibition, Great Depression.
You were still making money.
Yeah, we already understand.
Did they charge y'all back taxes on that shit? Did they put y'all in a certain tax bracket because they know you've been in business you're literally telling us you've been in business for 100 years.
Yes.
Right?
137
So you're telling
years.
us you didn't pay taxes on your product for however many years.
But they still, but a lot of them
are they charging y'all back taxes on that?
No, but listen, and they still.
I mean, I was like, sorry, accounting degree right here. If y'all need help with that.
Wait, hold on.
Listen. We got to let everybody get their joint out, and then we got to end because it's over 2 hours. We've been vibing with our people. We
so
at home right now, and I understand.
We're gonna start with Black Viking.
Yes.
Because he been quiet. I'm shocked.
He did, yo. He promised that he did that shit, yo. Sean is that dude, yo.
He muted himself, and I am very proud of you, Sean. I got to give you that.
Hey, man, I'm a fan. Cheers to the culture. That's all I can say.
That's all you got to say? Come on.
You got to tell folks. People where they can follow you, how to support, where the new Wakanda's building. You got to tell us all that. Don't be humble.
Yeah, put the plug in. Come on, man.
At Black Viking Brewing on Instagram. That's it. We ain't on Twitter. We ain't on Facebook.
You know what? You know what?
It's okay.
I was getting hyped before, so I said, let me fall back.
You know what? And we're gonna
all I'm gonna say is, look, when I said earlier that black folks don't got the money, it wasn't that we don't have the money individually. We have the money individually, but collectively, like when I read it in the Atlantic, that there's a possibility that black folks' net worth drops to 0 in the year 2050. That's what I'm talking about, right? We talking about disposable income, those type of things. So we got money. We got folks that are lawyers and doctors and entrepreneurs, et cetera, et cetera. But bringing that together, that's a big task. It really is. And that was the point that I was trying to make. Like the amount of stuff that I've heard and experience going out into these different accounts, I'm like, yo, this is wild. So yeah, I mean, we gotta stay united. Like, I don't think we really understand the state of affairs and how dire it is right now. You know what I'm saying? Like individually, yeah we got bread, we own houses, et cetera, but collectively we in a tough spot right now.
But you know what? Part of me disagree that we're in a tough spot, but I also feel like when you look at who controls the media, the type of narrative that they want to push will always try to keep us in that less than undervalued category.
No, I don't listen to that media. I'll listen
But
to
no-
Roland Martin Unfiltered.
no,
and
but
he
when I-
drops
when I-
in,
Separate-
and we
separate
are
listen, when
in.
I'm-
vision is the
No, listen,
power.
what I'm getting at is this, though, that narrative of that Black men do not care about their kids, that they're not in their child's life.
Right.
I can speak to that and say that that's not the case because of how my father was, right? And how some of you who have kids on this actual broadcast here, how you guys have interacted with your kids. We know that that's not true, but they will let you believe that Black men are not there. That type of narrative, like you're talking about, how they, and I even read that article where they talk about the net worth of Blacks
Right.
falling to zero, and I think it was by 2053.
Exactly.
I get that, and I know exactly what you're talking about, but a part of me also thinks that there is a play that's happening to try and continue to put us into that undervalued position. That's the thing that I don't like.
And I feel you, Dr. Denise, but what I'm saying is I've been in education for 12, 13 years, right? I've been a teacher. I've worked in higher ed. Now I work for one of the most prominent nonprofit organizations in the country, right? And I work in Northeast and Southeast DC, right? What I'm saying is like, yeah, there are folks that got PhDs like you, right? But there are kids where I'm like, God damn, like this is going to be rough for you. You know what I'm saying? And so when you really study the numbers, how it costs way more for us to actually obtain a 4-year degree, those type of things, that's what I'm saying. Like I was at accounts tonight, just before I came onto this meeting, and the white dude is saying like, yo, we got people driving down from the city that are like, we don't want to spend $12.99 for a 6-pack. They got the $12.99 because our beer is very appropriately priced, right? But we got to shift the whole mindset. So that's what I was saying earlier. It's not that we don't have the money. We have the money, but we got to bring that together. And that's a Herculean task.
That is. I totally agree with you on that. Totally.
Let's start with some dollars in this group right here. My much is your much.
Right. Now.
Right.
Now. So what we learned.
My bad.
No, you're good. So what we learned from Sean at Black Viking is the idea that, again, he's on Instagram. You can check them out. They do have some things in the pipeline that is coming up. And on top of that, building up the Black, collective, building up the Black funds is essential at this point.
Wakanda of Maryland.
Fizzle, what do you want to add? So first off, tell people where they can find you again. What you got in the pipeline and what's your one-liner?
It's Craft the Culture Brewing Company on Facebook, at Craft the Culture on Twitter, at Craft the Culture Ohio on Instagram. And we about to be on some shit that I'm gonna drop it, Mac. Fuck this shit, yo. We about to be on some shit that ain't nobody been on. Beer the Change is bigger than just a statement. It's bigger than just a moment in time. Like Beer the Change is an educational tool that we will launch as a nonprofit this year. Not only will we launch it as a nonprofit organization dedicated to teaching minorities how to get into this industry and how to extract dollars out of this industry and put them back into our community for positive change, but it will also become a brew school. I was just approached by another city in my state asking me if I would help them put a Black-owned brewery in their shit, and I said, I'll give you a Black-owned brewery, but only if you give me a production facility.
Yes.
Because when all my mans out this way, when Mac is like, yo, look, I got to drop 20 barrels of Mac IPA.
There you go.
The space to do that in. That's
to
not
leverage your network.
Charging that shit is keeping that money in the community so that when Andrew is like, yo, look, my system ain't exactly, yo, look, we are the siphon, we are the cycle, we are Black history, we are the dream. This is Crafted Culture Brewing Company. And if you thought we was on some bullshit, we've been the shit since we took one.
You know what? I like that.
This motherfucker. So yeah, we are.
You know what? I got something to talk to you about once we end this live. So honestly, I like that. I like that now.
That's how we get. I ain't got shit else to say, yo.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Drew. Drew, what you got? So again, remember, tell people where they can find you. Is there anything you want people to be aware of? And what's your one-liner that you want to say?
LiveCode 2021, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Liquid Infusion Brewing Company on Facebook. Like us, all that jazz. www.libcobeer.com, right? Go on there, sign up to our newsletter, go on underneath the contact section, sign up, put your information in. because although we are going to be contract brewing soon, when we actually get up to the point to where we start applying for this wholesale license, we're going to be selling stickers. And that sticker, you're going to get a complimentary gift. And that gift is going to be a Core 4, our South of DC Cream Ale, our Plum Basil Farmhouse Ale, our African Queen of her 7 Seas IPA.
Ooh, I don't have to do that. Okay.
So,
Okay.
With that said, be ready come end of the month to purchase a sticker, right? But with that said, no matter what, all this stuff is fine. But at the end of the day, it's all about the liquid, and may the liquid always prevail.
I love it. I love it. Thank you.
What's that tagline one more time, Andrew?
May the liquid always prevail. Because at the end of the day,
preach to him, dog. Look at God. Look,
there we go.
Ahead,
there we go.
I love it.
Now, Mac, you are to cap this off before Ren and I get in. But remember, let people know where they can find you, what's coming up in the pipeline if you got anything, and what is your one-liner.
Mac Brewing Co. MACK Brewing Co. on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I do have a TikTok, but I am nowhere near as instrumental as Libco is. The website is www.macbrewingco.com. We got our 10%. We got our 10% IPA.
Drinking like it's a 6.
You gotta stay clear. I like to move my head like on
it's a legendary
that's
liquid.
How my beer have you.
Stevie.
So as my man Lipco said, man, you order a sticker, we got a free gift coming for you. You know what I'm saying? This is
I love that.
And we coming from like that.
Is that free gift a jacket?
Oh, the free gift. You know what the crazy part is? I offered you. I just remember I offered you that jacket.
Yes.
If you get beer with a jacket, you owe me beer.
Listen, I know, but you know what? Listen,
you owe both of us beer if you get beer with a jacket.
I offered the jacket, but
I do need the jacket. I know, and I don't know if my email went through, but that's a different story. I will follow up with you after the show.
So
don't air dirty laundry.
It's definitely just MACK Brewing Co. Anything that you need to find from us, we have the Mac IPA. I don't know exactly when I'm going to drop the lemongrass and honey ale. That's our 14% that's going to hit, and we're about to switch over from the 6-pack of the Mac IPA to a 6-pack of 3 and 3 of the Mac IPA, which is 10%, to 3 of those and 3 of our Last of the Mohicans, which is our lemongrass and honey ale, coming in at 14%. As I said offline, we have a 10% stout that's not a part of anything that we have coming out, but we do have a collective coming out with these fine brothers.
Are we going with that?
I'm not saying anything else because nobody put the emphasis on it, so I'm not going to say what exactly it is. But I'm going to say
drop it when it's ready.
Huh?
But it's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. So you
want me to say it? So you say you want me to say it?
No. You
no.
Say it.
Not yet.
Okay, I'm not saying what I'm
saying is in on it though.
Listen, I am a high gravity guy, 10% or better. I like you to sip slow and appreciate what we got going on. That's my one line. I'm done.
All right. Well, with that being said, Ren, is there anything you want to add as we sign off on this 2.5 basically 2.5 hour session we had with Black Nerds?
This was the best live we've had since our inception. It was Black Brewers. We are talking about one of the things that we enjoy. We are honoring and showcasing and highlighting people in the industry and brothers and sisters that we rock with heavily. We're talking about crafted culture. We're talking about Libco. We're talking about Black Viking Brewing. We're talking about Mac Brewing Co. And we talk about my man Mac from Big Ditch. We are highlighting and representing all of that. In this episode, to me, It hit dearly. It resonated within myself. And it's something that I like to repeat again sometime, if not this month, maybe next month if y'all all are free. But the point is to show all that. The point is to show all of that and make sure that people know where we stand and that we are united. That, yeah, we're not a monolith, but we are together. And that is more important than anything. I thank you guys for coming to our live. I'm definitely humbled and I'm honored for y'all being here. I appreciate all the love. And Drew, look for the reviews coming out, and you're gonna see a special T-shirt in these videos coming out after that too.
Hey, I dropped my badge in the chat. Give me addresses so I can send these hats out.
Thank you. Someone's doing it correctly.
If y'all fuck around and catch me on a good day, it might be some beer with your hat.
Oh, listen.
I'm about to hit you right now.
Listen. The only thing I'm
gonna hit you right now.
Hold on. The only thing I want to add is I want to say thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedules. All of you who stated that you guys are doing amazing things within the industry and even outside of this. So I want to thank all of you for spending time with, especially 2.5 hours with us on a Friday night. You guys got lives. You guys got significant others or whatever the case.
Nobody give me divorce, man.
Listen, I'm a divorcee, so listen, I understand where you're coming from, but
I got one of those too, yo.
Listen, so we got a divorce gang going on here. I like the hashtag divorce gang, but I will say this.
Divorce, I'm tired.
Listen, before you go into that, Drew, I do want to give you guys kudos for at least taking time out of your busy schedules to do this with us. And again, like we've been doing this for a while on Black Nerd Fridays, and it's great to finally have, outside of Black creators, having Black creators within the brewing industry, especially since we highlight all types of beers on our show. So thank you very much for coming on the show. For anyone who's going to follow listen to this, make sure you follow every brand that's been put on today, and make sure you guys show love, buy any of their merch, buy any of their beer, look out for them, highlight them, share them across different channels, and really, especially during Black History Month. So I don't want to hear anybody saying, I didn't know. So I just want to say again, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for watching, and we will end this broadcast, and we will see you guys next time.
This show is legendary. Legendary.
Yo,